The Draconian Starfleet must be here. Invasion has begun. We're doomed.
There's still hope left. Daddy!
Corey! What do you mean? There's still hope.
She's gonna save the day.
Who? You mean Amanda?
My IP, trademarks IP, my IP, my IP, and my IP was my IP, my IP, my IP, my IP as my IP on my IP. Intellectual property is my IP, just registered marks. My registered marks IP, intellectual property as my IP, my IP's IP is my trademarks, my IP, trademark. My IP, I created, trademarked, my trademark, and IP, dramatizations, trademark. It's my creation. Why I trademarked it, Blue Avian, trademark, Blue Avian, trademark. My IP and my IP, trademark courts and my trademarks, my IP, yes. Stuff that I created, real IP, created a lot of the stuff. I created Starfleet, my IP. On my IP, created out of my mind, my IP, on my IP, my trademark, my intellectual property, which definitely locks all this stuff in as a creation, and my IP, yeah, for my intellectual property.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. I hope everybody had an amazing holiday. I sure did, but we are back on track and ready to attack. Seems like the UFO Grifter Squad is coming out of the woodwork again, right? It's like whack-a-mole. We beat them down, they pop back up, and Richie Grifton is flapping his lips through his fake teeth again. Now, one might think that he would be smart enough to keep my name out of his mouth, but he keeps on doing it, referring to me as, quote, Scambian, unquote, while he's working for the biggest UFO scammers that have ever existed in the history of UFOs. While he's working for the biggest hoaxer, scammer, grifters that have ever entered this subject matter. They have been caught time and time and time again, faking UFOs, making up fake stories around ordinary events like rocket plume exhaust, Chinese lanterns, balloons, and more. But remember, we're the bad guys here because we put out a free documentary detailing all of the fraud perpetrated by third phase of fake clowns in the past several years. And why did we do that? Because Richie Grifton kept saying, oh, they've been doing a good job. In the past 5 years, they haven't faked anything, and we proved that that was a lie. Then he said they haven't faked anything in the past 3 years. We proved that was a lie. Then he said they haven't faked anything on purpose, and we proved that is a lie. So why is this clown still here? Well, it says something. I think it says a lot about just how many stupid people are out there. Why would you trust a guy who works for the biggest UFO frauds in the history of UFOs to commentate for you or bring you stories from the land of UFOs. But this is where we're at, and this is where we find ourselves. And the fact that this idiot, I told him before, and I'm going to tell him again, he's not smart enough to do this with me. We proved unequivocally that he lied to his entire audience for over a year. So the fact that he still has an audience, and by the way, do you know why he still has an audience? He still has an audience because Third Phase of Moon are constantly feeding him more stupid people, right? That's why he still has an audience. Anybody with a brain has abandoned the fraud ship GRIFTON a long time ago, months and months and months ago. And I love that the narrative keeps changing. First, he said he didn't make fun of my disability. He was talking about my testicles, right? Because a goddamn, arrow pointing to my eye while he's making fun of my paralyzed eye isn't an indicator that he was indeed making fun of my paralyzed eye. By the way, why does he still have a YouTube channel? He shouldn't. Fat shaming is against community guidelines. That's a strike. Claiming that somebody faked cancer who actually does have cancer is a form of harassment. That's a community guideline strike. Making fun of disabled people, which he has done multiple times now, 2 or 3 times. It wasn't just me. He's made fun of other disabled people. That's a community guideline strike. Why is this guy still on YouTube? Do I have to collect all the clips up for YouTube and then start making whoever's supposed to do these things do what they're supposed to do and strike him out of existence? And by the way, normally I'm a content creator here. Normally I do go by that unwritten rule that you do not wish ill on somebody else's channel. But in this case, I will make an exception because he deserves to lose his channel. First of all, he collected money while he was lying, and we can demonstrate that. He's collecting money while he's lying through his fake teeth on YouTube. That's a form of fraud. Rich, you dummy. Are you that stupid? You're that stupid? Apparently, he is that stupid. But we'll get back to Richie GRIFTON, who loves to beg for super chats for money, right? He's got to beg. He's got to beg for money. And by the way, Rich, you calling me, quote, Scambian is a form of libel and slander. And I'm telling you right now, if you do it again, there will be consequences for you. Serious consequences. And I know you've said, hey, anybody could sue me. I don't have anything. You won't get anything. Well, I have investigated this whole situation with what you've been doing, making fun of my disability, calling me a liar, purposefully attempting to damage my reputation. For what? For reporting accurately on the scams that Third Phase has run on YouTube, reporting accurately on you lying through your teeth to your entire audience for over a year. You're going to try to damage my reputation? You're going to imply that I'm scamming people while we caught you scamming people and we reported on it 100% accurately. You will not continue in this current course without consequences. And by the way, whose name is on your lease, Rich? Maybe you should talk to those people. I will not be threatened or intimidated or harassed into silence while you are defrauding your entire audience, while you are lying to everyone, right? And why don't we talk, Rich, about the 2 documentaries? One of them details 30 provable hoaxes, 100% proven. They fake shit. They put it on YouTube. They pretended it was real, including using a 4-year-old child to defraud YouTube. Is that against YouTube's community guidelines, using a 4-year-old child to scam YouTube out of advertising revenue? I think it might be, Rich, you dummy. And all of this had passed, right? And like I said, it's like whack-a-mole, right? We accurately report on these scammers and bullshit artists who are defrauding the public with 100% provably fake stories, fake videos of UFOs they know aren't UFOs, right? And they scurry away like the slimy snakes they are, right? And then they get triggered and they come back again and start talking about, I'm the liar here. We have an overwhelming mountain of evidence against you and Third Phase of Moon, Richie GRIFTON. But you want to muddy the waters, right? You want to claim I'm a narcissist. And by the way, you're no psychiatrist. You're no psychologist, right? You're going to diagnose me. Oh, I'm a narcissist. Great. I'm a narcissist, Rich, with facts and evidence that prove that you purposefully lied to your audience for over a year. I'm a narcissist who has right now put out, by the way, at my own personal expense of time, energy, invested resources, and my own distribution efforts, we put out those 2 documentaries, one of which, Third Phase of Moon, copyright striked off of YouTube. But don't worry, they're still on Odyssey. And don't worry, Rich, because you had to start this shit again. Now it's on Twitch. Now it's on Twitter. And by the way, I will be broadcasting the second one on Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, Facebook, and everywhere else but YouTube tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. So then even more people will see just why you're so angry with me. Did I destroy the grift? Things were going pretty good for you before all this, wasn't it, Rich? You could just collect all that money, get all those super chats, pretend that you're credible, pretend that working for Third Phase of Moon wasn't a problem. And then along came me, showing everybody what liars, fraudsters, deceivers, and hoaxers you work for. And is it any wonder that then you started calling me, you started calling Paul from the Out There channel a pedophile with no evidence, no proof, nothing, right? That's a community guideline strike. Then you called Brandon Fugel essentially a pedophile. No evidence, no proof. Then you implied that I may have pedophile friends, and that might make me a pedophile. Of course, no evidence, no proof. He just said that. Why? Because he was angry because we revealed what scammers, hoaxers, and fraudsters that this man works for. Then he makes a video making fun of my disability because that's a classy move. Then he lies and says he was talking about my testicles when he said one ball, even though there's an arrow pointing right to the eye, right? And everybody knows that I have a paralyzed eye. He lies and says he was talking about my testicles. And by the way, why is a grown man living in a goddamn trailer in his parents' backyard talking about my testicles on the internet? Then he starts talking about my wife's tits, right? Then he starts talking about my children. No, you dummy, you made all of this personal. Why don't you talk about the evidence? Is it because you have no counter for all of the evidence? There is right now a documentary which definitively, overwhelmingly, and absolutely proves that Third Phase perpetrated at least 30 hoaxes. Then there's the second documentary. By the way, the first documentary made by Sapiens Culture. It's in the description of the video if you haven't seen it. Congratulations, Rich, you dumbass. Now I'm putting it back in. Every description of everything I ever make for the rest of my goddamn life will include that evidence, will include that proof that you work for scammers, you asshole. All right. So now there's a second documentary because Rich was so stupid that he doubled down and tripled down saying, well, they had to go back 8 years to prove that they fake things. And by the way, at the end of the first documentary, there's 5 or 6 total hoax videos that are proven. But his attention span and his mini mind, he's got like 3 brain cells left that he has to rub together to form a thought, wouldn't allow him, he doesn't have the attention span to see it all. And by the way, Rich, why don't you go through all those documentaries on your show and prove us wrong? Why don't you go through 4 hours and 30 minutes of a mountain of overwhelming evidence that Third Phase of Moon are fraudsters, liars, hoaxers, deceivers, and fraudsters. Why don't you do that if you want to prove me wrong? He won't, because he cannot do that. So what does he got to do? Is he's got to muddy the water. He's got to talk about my paralyzed eye and make fun of me. He's got to imply I have pedo friends while I have wife and children and I volunteer for children's charities. Great job, you dickhead. Great, great. He's got to talk about my wife's tits, my child's Christmas presents, and anything else that he can in order to distract everyone away from the mountain of overwhelming evidence that he works for fraudsters. And by the way, it gets worse for him, because after we put out those 2 documentaries, then we got all kinds of whistleblowers coming to us, including one who shared with us private messages between Rich and him, where somebody made a UFO hoax video on purpose, sent it to Third Phase of Moon, told Rich and Third Phase of Moon how they faked this 100% faked UFO video. Third Phase put it up pretending that it was a spaceship, right? Or something mysterious. So we nailed him lying to everyone. And that also proved that the entire time he was attacking everybody like an idiot, calling people pedos, attacking disabled people. Oh, there was claiming somebody had cancer, that had cancer was faking it. He did that too. While he was doing all those things, he knew the entire time that Third Phase was knowingly, willingly, and with great effort accepting and using faked, 100% faked UFO videos, pretending they were something UFO or mysterious. He knew this entire time. That's what kind of slime ball this man is. But hey, the stupid people from Third Phase of Moon are going to keep watching him. No matter how many people we pull away from his shit show, there's a steady supply of new stupid people, right? And new stupid people to send him money. And by the way, I didn't go far enough before. Any of you assholes that send him money are supporting him making fun of fat people, are supporting him being a misogynist, making fun of women, are supporting him talking about women's tits that he doesn't know. You're supporting him calling people pedos with no evidence and no proof. All of you who send him a penny are responsible for that monster. You people are making that monster. How about you stop sending him money and make him work for a goddamn living and stop lying to people for a living? How about that? And we'll get back to Richie GRIFTON and his couple of Third Phase of fake friends. And by the way, Richie GRIFTON, I'm putting those documentaries on YouTube, and I have legal defenses standing by. God help either of you clowns. If you try to copyright strike me, there will be consequences. You are the subject of the investigative documentary. You don't get to decide what video platforms it gets to be on so that you can stop people from seeing the truth and keep your con going. I have to block out the child's face that they used. They used a 4-year-old child, one of their children. I think it was Brent's child, in the commission of a fraud. And by the way, the statute of limitations is up on that, Blake and Brent Cousins, and you're lucky, because if it wasn't, I'd be contacting the authorities. You're not using a 4-year-old child to scam people with fake alien videos, you assholes. So, but there's more going on in UFO land, and we're going to get into all of it. So let's get into all of it. Because recently, recently we have Christopher Mellon coming out with an article, and boy, I was going to jump all over it because it's a crock of shit. Here's what people always forget. Eric Davis and his research was called Crackpot Science by a major newspaper. He got paid a lot of money, and he came up with a lot of bullshit that he fed back to them for that money, talking about how people can teleport, time travel's real, right? With pictures of Einstein talking to Barney the dinosaur. This is through a Stargate. This is not a credible scientist. And all you people with these goddamn Wilson notes, the man himself who the notes are about. Admiral Wilson said that the notes are, quote, a work of fiction. But it doesn't stop the UFO grifter squad like Project Unity, right? It doesn't stop the grifter squad like Project Unity from grifting onto the story. Oh, there's an update, right? There's an update. Oh, Christopher Mellon said that Eric Davis, indeed, he wrote the notes. So they must be real, right? No, that doesn't prove anything. It proves that he wrote the notes. And by the way, Project Unity is the worst garbage peddler that I've ever had to listen to. Because everything that he does is from a believer family. It doesn't matter how ridiculous something is, as long as it supports his already drawn conclusion, then he's okay with it. And we're going to put our fair use banner, and we're going to go over his short piece, which is filled with facts, not in evidence. He just says things like they're facts. And they are Project Unity. And by the way, who else is Project Unity push? People like Ross Coulthard, who we caught selling a 100% provably fake story. Great job, Project Unity. Great job vetting. And so we're going to share his video on this Christopher Mellon garbage peddled piece. And it's fair use because we're going to be discussing all the times, we're going to be discussing how stupid this is, how ridiculous this is. Oh, breaking news. Nice clickbait title, garbage peddling, right? Well, let me do this one more time. I always do that. I'm going to make sure that we have the audio for sure. Breaking news. This is breaking news only to UFO dorks like Project Unity. It is.
Well, Merry Christmas, everyone, and I have an early present for all of you. Recently, Christopher Mellon, and when I say recently, I mean literally tonight on Christmas Eve, Chris Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, wrote an article published on his own website, and links will be in the description box below. And within this article...
Oh, we're already got to stop you there, Mr. Project Unity. Did you happen to ever listen to his cousin, William Warner, talk about Christopher Mellon and how the whole Mellon family are CIA shills, that they are disinformation agents, and how he believes that Christopher Mellon is being used as a pawn in a larger game? Oh, you left that part out because that doesn't support his narrative, right? Doesn't support the narrative. We'll just leave that part out.
Christopher made a stunning acknowledgement that I don't think anyone was expecting him to make. He acknowledged...
It's so stunning that no major newspaper covered it. It's so stunning that no major media outlet covered it. It's so stunning. No, it's not stunning. This is clickbait garbage.
That Dr. Eric W. Davis, the Department of Defense astrophysicist, who is well known in the UFO community for his research, his contributions, his government affiliations...
He should be well known for lying, Project Unity, but you don't ever point out all the inconsistencies, the lies, the fact that Admiral Tom Wilson says it's a work of fiction, these notes, right? Or the obvious problems with everybody who peddles those notes. By the way, we did a show recently, not too long ago, and we proved that every single person who peddles these notes is a garbage peddler who has been caught selling 100% provably fake stories before. So shouldn't that inform us on the credibility of these notes? The fact that all these UFO grifters who have been caught selling 100% provably fake stories are the people pushing these fake notes for money? Isn't that relevant? Nobody wants to talk about that.
And overall interest in the UFO issue, Chris Mellon just acknowledged that Dr. Eric W. Davis is indeed the legitimate author of what is known within the UFO research community as the Wilson Davis Memo, or the Eric Davis Notes, or...
Great. So did you reach out to Eric Davis and get confirmation of that? Because previously he said because of his NDA, he couldn't talk about that. And by the way, let's get into this. Eric Davis constantly claims he has an NDA or something and he can't, national security, and I have clearances and I can't talk about this. Then why is he quoted in newspapers saying things that would be breaking these so-called clearances. He can't acknowledge that he wrote these notes, but he can acknowledge that the government has off-world vehicles and be quoted in a newspaper article. Wouldn't that violate his? See how this is a problem? And these UFO believers, God bless you. Look, the world would be such a more amazing place if it could be proven. And I hope it is proven someday that the United States government is in possession of crashed flying saucers or alien spacecraft. But you got to do an awful lot of mental gymnastics to believe this shit, because there's problems. Oh, so Eric Davis can say and be quoted in newspaper articles that the government, that he's briefing people. By the way, all these people he's briefing, Eric Davis, you are full of shit. You are so full of shit that you waddle when you walk, you dorky science guy. You're not briefing senators, right? Name them and let me call the senators and see if they got a briefing from you. And by the way, there's a lot that Christopher Mellon put in this article that can be fact checked, and we're going to fact check it, and we're going to bring you the truth behind these claims. And for those unaware, people like Christopher Mellon, Ross Coulthart, right? These are all people that Project Unity licks the assholes of, right? To help him sell the narrative. He's there to advertise. Project Unity is there to advertise these assholes selling fairy tales. That's what his job is, because all he does is repeat what they say without fact checking anything.
The Admiral.
Oh, and by the way, even if he wrote the documents, did you reach out to him for confirmation? Now that the cat's out of the bag, can he say he wrote the notes? Christopher Mellon said he wrote the notes. Why can't Eric Davis confirm that he wrote the notes? And by the way, even if he did write these notes, it doesn't prove that the information in the notes is accurate, because we have Admiral Tom Wilson saying these are a work of fiction.
Wilson leaks, which is a transcript of a conversation in 2001.
No, it's not a transcript of a conversation. It's an alleged. You have to use the proper words here, Project Unity. It's never been proven that the conversation or the meeting in those notes actually took place. Well, there was a meeting with Admiral Tom Wilson, and Dr. Stephen Greer apparently gave Admiral Tom Wilson a completely fake, 100% provably fake government document that details crash flying saucers and retrieval programs. And because of that, Admiral Tom Wilson went, I'm going to look into this. And he went on a multi-month, or was it a year, trying to find the truth behind the UFO crash retrieval programs. No. Why doesn't anybody talk about this? An admiral would have staff. If somebody gave him a document purported to be a classified U.S. government document, he would take that document to one of his staff members and say, I need you to authenticate this before I waste any more time on it. And his staff would come back and say, that's a completely fake document. So we're all supposed to believe that a decorated Navy admiral was handed a fake document by a known UFO con artist in the form of Stephen Greer, right? And he went off on this secret mission to find the UFO crash retrievals. And why is Project Unity just going to say this is a conversation between Admiral Wilson and Eric Davis with no proof of it, and not tell you that the man himself in the notes, Admiral Tom Wilson, said this never happened?
Between Eric Davis and the former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, Admiral Thomas R. Wilson, wherein Admiral Wilson tells Eric Davis that he investigated the...
Allegedly tells him. You see the problem with this? He just states everything in the notes is a proven, established fact already. You know, this is so sloppy that it's not sloppiness, it's intentional. He intentionally didn't say allegedly or purportedly or any of that. He's just going to state everything in this like this really happened. It's all in dispute. He's citing this as all factual. There's facts, not in evidence here. It's all been disputed by the man in the notes himself.
The UFO issue internally, investigated the Pentagon program indexes within classified aerospace endeavors, and eventually...
He said he never investigated those things. Again, you screwed up here. You're saying that everything in those notes is true, 100% factual, it's accurate, yeah, but it's not. It's all been disputed by the man himself in the notes. So how can you sit there and say all these things like these are established facts? This is how the grift works, right?
Discovered a program that was housing a vehicle. And this vehicle, according to the program managers, was not from this earth. It was not man-made. It was not made by human hands. This was essentially a good faith meeting with the Admiral, but he was denied access to the actual program.
He was not denied access to anything, according to him. The notes say that he was denied access. Great story. It's a fairy tale. Unless you have facts and evidence that can establish these things as facts, you should say that. But Project Unity doesn't say that. He just says all of these things as if they're all established facts.
He was denied the ability to be read into this program, which was, for all intents and purposes, a reverse engineering program that was attempting to exploit a technology that was not made by humans. These leaked transcripts between Eric Davis and Admiral Wilson.
By the way, who leaked them? Well, we know who leaked them. They purportedly came from the estate of Edgar Mitchell. Have you, Project Unity, contacted Edgar Mitchell's family? Because guess what? There's absolutely zero proof that they came from Edgar Mitchell's estate. No one has proven that yet. See the problem with this? They got to go fast and loose with the facts, and they have to do the lie by omission. Just leave out that the Admiral says this is a work of fiction. Just leave out that no one can verify they came from Edgar Mitchell's estate or where they came from.
Wilson were retrieved from the estate of the Apollo 14 astronaut, Dr.
Who? Again, facts not in evidence. No one can clearly establish with facts. Show me a statement from Edgar Mitchell's surviving relatives that confirms that these notes came from his estate. You can't and you won't. Again, lie by omission, again, stating things as facts when these facts are in dispute and not in evidence.
Edgar Mitchell when he passed away. And since they were released online, they have been a point of contention within the UFO research community, with some believing the notes are authentic and others believing it to be a clever hoax. Whilst Eric Davis has never confirmed personally on the record that he authored the notes, he has, over various interviews, given very strange no comments that have never been considered as reasonable dismissals of the notes.
Oh, well, of course. He's got to deny it. That means the notes are real. You know, it's a leap of faith, and you have to jump through an awful lot of mental gymnastic hoops to believe that this shit is real. But that's what these people do.
Notes, but more so reinforce the idea that the acknowledgement of the notes being legitimate has attached to it extremely sensitive national security implications and potentially classified information. And so, with the legislative changes regarding UFOs recently being signed into law via the presidential signing of the NDAA, it would seem that those within this network of insiders, Chris Mellon, Lou Elizondo, Eric Davis, and others, feel that it is now time to take another step forward in pushing for a conversation on crash retrievals and reverse engineering programs dealing with non-human technology.
Yeah, and again, there's all of these people that, including many people who have been proven to be scammers, who have been proven to sell fake stories, 100% provably fake stories, like Ross Coulthard, who are pushing this idea that these whistleblowers are going to come forward. And again, hey, it would be awesome if that happened. Am I holding my breath? No. And by the way, the legislation is passed, right? So these people have whistleblower protection. Where's the whistleblowers? Where's the people who can point us to the alien bodies and the alien flying saucers and the crash retrieval alien technology, right? Wouldn't they come right away once they knew they had whistleblower protection? But they haven't yet, but everybody's saying they're going to. So this is UFO believer idiots making everybody chase that carrot. And by the way, I chased this carrot for far too long, probably decades of my life. And you always, these new revelations are coming soon, and they never come.
And so, on Christmas Eve, Christopher Mellon writes an article that has been published on his website, and in this article, he states the following. Even before this whistleblower legislation was signed into law, credible individuals were providing Congress information alleging that the US government has recovered extraterrestrial technology.
What credible individuals, Christopher Mellon? What credible individuals, Project Unity? You know, here is the problem. When you're selling a fairy tale, it's easy if you just don't provide actual proof of that. There's no proof of that statement. Alleging that the US government has recovered extraterrestrial technology. So who are the credible individuals? Name them, Christopher Mellon. You know, this becomes a game of bullshit chicken. Like, they bull so much and nobody stands up and says, I'll play bullshit chicken with you. Who are the credible people? Who are the credible individuals providing Congress with information alleging that the US government has recovered extraterrestrial technology? Name them. But they won't, and they don't, because this is all fairy tales. This is all, and by the way, given his connection to many, let's just say, alphabet soup agencies, you know, the DIA, the CIA, the FBI, all those agencies, I don't trust a word that Christopher Mellon says about any of this. He needs to come with proof or not at all. But because these people can't give you proof, what they do to keep everybody interested and active and chasing that carrot is they give you fairy tales with no evidence and no proof. By the way, what is this proof that Dr. Davis is the author of the Wilson Davis memo? He doesn't provide any. He just says it. And how does Eric Davis feel about this? I think Dr. Davis should be put under oath in a deposition, and he should have to answer under oath about all of this. And I have a feeling it's going to go kind of like Corey Good's deposition if that happens.
This process began in 2018 when I brought astrophysicist Dr. Eric Davis to Capitol Hill to meet with staff from the Senate Intelligence and Armed Services
Great.
Committee.
What were the names of the people that you brought Eric Davis to meet with? Can we have the names? You know, and then this is what happens. When you call these people on their bull, they cite national security. Oh, there's NDAs. There's always some excuse or some reason, right? If this was credible, we would have the names of the people, all of them. And then anybody, that's how you know this is fake. Because if this was real, we'd have the names of all these people that have been involved in what Christopher Mellon is saying. We'd be able to go and fact check Christopher Mellon. But isn't it convenient that these people write articles like this where you have zero ability to fact check what they're claiming? You have zero ability to be able to make sure that what they're saying is real information and not made up fairy tales. And by the way, Christopher Mellon was largely involved in TTSA, which was a techno scam, an investment scam. And so was, let's see, Lou Elizondo. They promised everybody a spaceship while they were soliciting public investments. Where's the goddamn spaceship, Christopher Mellon? Where's the goddamn spaceship, Christopher Mellon? I'd like to know. Wouldn't you like to know where the spaceship is? I sure would. That was another fairy tale of theirs, the spaceship. But we're all supposed to forget about that. We're not supposed to remember, and we're not supposed to ask them about it. And by the way, I want to thank Stephen Greenstreet for this excellent clip.
Now, goddamn it, Bobby. I don't care what Chris Mellon said on Fox News. You're not giving money to that blank 182 fella.
But Dad, they promised to build a spaceship.
No one's building a spaceship, Bobby.
But the Daily Mail reported that.
Those people are all insane.
Yeah. So it's important. Listen, I want to believe that the United States government has crash retrievals. I really do. And by the way, if you really have a conversation about this with somebody that really actually knows what they're talking about, like Jeremy Rise, alien scientist, or a few others, and by the way, those few others are off in the shadows. They're not public people, but there are people with credible information that there is something to all of this. But these are not the credible people. Project Unity is about as credible as a crackhead asking you for gas money while holding a gas can on a street corner, right? And Christopher Mellon has been caught with UFO fairy tales before, like TTSA, like we're going to build a spaceship with a revolutionary power source that will change the world. Just invest in our company. You have to consider the source of who is bringing you this information. You can't just blindly accept that they're telling you the truth, especially not when you can prove that they've lied to everyone before. They have lied to everyone before. Why do we believe them now? Right? Credibility matters. And their past, if you can prove that they've lied about things in the past or been involved in scammy shit like a techno scam to scam the public out of investing money into an organization to build a spaceship and then they don't build shit, that's important. This is important information. And you should be able to, you should be able to know how credible this information is by how credible their previous information was. About as credible as a crackhead.
Dr. Davis, author of the famous Wilson-Davis memo, provided specific information lending credence to sensational reports that an official US government program is actively seeking to exploit recovered technology that was fashioned by some other species, or perhaps advanced AI machines.
Well, that's new. Now we've got, it's not aliens, it's advanced AI machines that crafted these things. But, again, where's the proof? This is just words. This is just more, chase the carrot promises from somebody that's done chase the carrot promises for 5+ years now. So pardon me if I'm not chasing the carrot until I see evidence or proof.
Much of the information Dr. Davis provided remains highly classified.
Yeah, and there's the excuse. That's why we can't tell you anything. If all this information was highly classified and he's talking about it, isn't that a violation of the classification system of your oath? See, these are the amateur hour mistakes that liars make. If all of this was highly classified, Chris Mellon couldn't be writing about it on a public blog. This is bullshit.
But the good news is that these sensational claims, which have the potential to transform our understanding of the universe and man's place within it, are now being taken seriously and properly investigated. I've brought others.
By who? Who's investigating it? Can we talk to them? Can we find out that they're investigating things because Eric Davis said so? Because the last time Eric Davis told somebody, had these notes, the person that he claims investigated it all said this is a work of fiction. Now along comes Christopher Mellon saying that because of Dr. Davis talking to these people, now they're investigating it. Well, what happened the last time Dr. Davis said that somebody was investigating these crash retrieval programs? The man he said was investigating it said it's a crock of shit. It's a work of fiction. And by the way, I truly hope he will, but I'm aware that there is proof that Dr. Davis was not at that, or excuse me, proof that Admiral Wilson was not at that meeting with Dr. Davis when Dr. Davis claimed he was. And I hope he's going to release that information someday publicly to put this whole garbage peddled fake story to rest.
Besides Dr. Davis and Lou Elizondo, to the Hill and the Arrow
office.
Oh,
Lou Elizondo, who lied to the New York Times. Christopher Mellon lied to the New York Times, right? So what we've got here is a bunch of liars. Dr. Davis was called a liar, essentially, by Admiral Tom Wilson. We've got 3 liars telling us all of this information, none of which can be verified, none of which can be confirmed by calling the people that they're claiming are involved here. But we're supposed to believe it, sure.
And I'm encouraging anyone else who may be able to help set the record straight to step forward as well. So this is a big deal, folks.
It's not a big deal. Not when you consider that these are 3 people who we can demonstrate have lied in the past to the public. We can demonstrate have been involved in a techno scam, right? And Dr. Davis was an employee of Putoff who was involved in the TTSA techno scam. By the way, we've seen evidence that Dr. Putoff was involved in other techno scams in the past. So, yeah, take the word of 3 liars. And this is really big news. Great job, Project Unity, with this circle jerk nonsense piece. Great job.
And it's certainly not coincidental. Chris obviously feels that the climate is right for this admission to be made public. And so now everyone knows what some of us have known for a while now. The Admiral Wilson leaks, or Eric Davis notes, are real and were indeed authored by Dr. Eric Davis himself.
They're real.
And Chris Mellon just confirmed that publicly.
No, nobody confirmed that the notes are real. You see the problem? You see what these people do? Again, you have to do the lie by omission. Don't tell everybody that the admiral involved in those notes said that their work of fiction is fake. Also, don't tell everybody that he was a whole nother part of the country on that day that Eric Davis claimed to have that secret meeting with him, right? Sure. Just leave all that out. And leave out the fact that 2 of these 3 people that Project Unity is talking about were involved in the TTSA techno scam where they promised investors they were building a spaceship with, quote, a revolutionary power source that would change the world, unquote. They didn't produce anything, nothing. They made everybody chase that carrot for years before it was revealed what a techno scam that was. But we're supposed to take their word for this, though, right? Just because they've been caught lying to people in the past. And who was it that got those videos out of the Pentagon? Oh, that's right. It was Christopher Mellon. And if you or I did what he did, we would be prosecuted. But because he's a rich guy with probably lots and lots of lawyers and money for lawyers and a lot of intelligence connections, he was able to get away with taking videos out of the Pentagon parking lot, taking them over to TTSA, and then profiting from them for 5 years? While running a techno scam, him and Lou Elizondo. And Lou Elizondo is responsible for the release of those videos as well. They were never intended for public release. And one might question the legality of a Pentagon worker releasing videos that were never intended for public release, somehow getting them into the parking lot, into the hands of Christopher Mellon, and then those 2 clowns go off and start a TTSA, a provable techno scam where they lied to everyone and said, we're building a spaceship, invest in our company, while they were soliciting public money. Nobody gets prosecuted. Do you know why? Because that is the mark. That's how you know that all of this is some sort of intelligence operation. And there is ample and supportive evidence to conclude that. Normal people, if they did what these people did, would be prosecuted for it. But these people somehow get a pass. Why? Because the government knows what they're doing. The government probably put them up to doing it. But more on that another time, I guess.
The record. And so, Merry Christmas,
yeah, Merry
everyone.
Christmas. Here's your nothing burger. Here's your nothing burger. Merry Christmas. Great job, Project Unity. You know, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, what am I supposed to do when these people are... Great. I'm sorry, losing my train of thought here. So let's get into the next thing. Everybody's asking me to cover this Las Vegas UFO video, and I didn't. And there's a reason I didn't. I didn't because I knew when I looked at it that it was not a solid UFO. And here's how you tell that. In this Las Vegas UFO video, there's spotlights, and they're crisscrossing the object going right through it. They are not stopped by the object that appears to be in the sky. That's how you know that it's some form of optical illusion or light reflecting off of clouds or something like that, and not a solid object. Spotlights don't go through solid objects hovering in the sky. The spotlight would be stopped on that solid object. So I didn't do a debunk on this, but Mick West did, and his debunk was excellent. And so we're going to cite fair use once again. We're educating the public. Mick West does great work. I'm always perplexed by the believers who attack him so much because, he shows you when things are fake. Do you want to just live in a fantasy world where lights up in the sky is an alien spaceship? I guess you do, because people attack Mick West when he shows them exactly what a UFO is sometimes, an ordinary earthly occurrence. It's not anything mysterious. It's not anything alien or out of this world. So we're going to cite fair use. We're going to use this video to educate the public about what is clearly, my friends. Let me do that again. Always forget this stupid share audio button. Clearly not a UFO. It's an IFO, identified flying object. All right, let's get into this.
A lot of people in Las Vegas saw these interesting lights in the sky. They looked like a huge UFO hovering above the clouds. I was initially confused by it, but then Taiwan Tontija posted on Metabunk that it looked like light pillars seen from below. And TC Thomas 51 on Reddit matched a couple of the light shapes to a map of nearby hotels. And this is actually what it is, light pillars. Since it creates a small map of the city in the sky, I'm going to call it a light pillar map. A light pillar is a somewhat rare atmospheric phenomena where ice crystals form in the air in hexagonal plates aligned horizontally. Seen from a distance, bright lights behind and below the layer reflect off the tiny horizontal crystals at different altitudes, creating a pillar effect. Most commonly seen with the sun, you also see it quite dramatically with bright building lights at night.
Yeah, and it's an interesting phenomenon, but it's nothing mysterious. It could be explained by science. It could be explained by physics.
From below, the reflections are generally not that visible as they get lost in the light pollution. But if you have a light shining straight up into the layer, then it will reflect straight back down off millions of ice crystals, and you'll see that light seemingly reflected off the sky. What you're really seeing are vertical pillars of light, probably each 1,000 feet long, but viewed from underneath, so all you get is a bright spot for each light. In Las Vegas, there are lots of lights. Some of them point straight up to illuminate the sides of the casinos. These are called uplights or uplighting. So when we look up in Vegas into the...
All right, we're going to address this then. This is great. Stephen, my friend, you may find you will not be as well loved if you continue down this path of full-time, full-on skeptic. So show me something real then, Asians, espadas. Show me something that we can't, come up with an explanation for. Show me something alien. And if you can't, then don't judge me. We look into these things and then we report on what it is. If it's fake, it's fake. I'm not going to pretend it's something that it's not. You are embracing people who shill for the establishment like Mick West. Is he wrong here? He's 100% right in this debunk. 100% right. Proven with science and facts and evidence. So I'm wrong? Mick West is wrong? Is that really aliens? No, it's not. Why would you want to live in a delusional fantasy land where fake things are called spaceships? This is what I get. This is what I get, right? Because we're bringing people the truth. That's what we do here. And if it's fake, it's fake. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's aliens like Project Unity or some of these other UFO circle jerk clowns. And if you don't like it, go to another channel. Go to a fantasy channel where you can hear fairy tales every night. We don't do fairy tales here.
The ice crystal layer is like looking up into a giant mirror that's 15,000 feet above you, but all you can see are the uplights. We flip the mirrored image to overlay it on the map. These two curved shapes are the uplights around the Wynn and the Encore. You can clearly make out the shapes. The red lights are the red uplights at the ends and center of the Hilton at Resort Worlds. We can also see other hotels with powerful uplights, the Stratosphere, Palace Station, and Trump International. It's a map, a light pillar map. The flashing white light.
I will say this, that was quite an intriguing video that somebody posted, but when you look into it, it's nothing mysterious.
Is from the promotional searchlights at the Sapphire Club. Remember, we only really see uplights here, so we only see the searchlights when they get close to being vertical. The flashing white dot produced appears directly overhead from the Sapphire. It's not glinting off anything, it's just a bright uplight that's only occasionally vertical. Again, it's just these 4 spotlights, and since the image in the sky is like looking at a map of the city or looking down from 15,000 feet, all we see is an occasionally bright dot.
And we can see the spotlights go right through the object. If it was a solid object in the sky, the solid object in the sky would stop the searchlights. They don't. Therefore, it is a light artifact. It is a reflection off the clouds. In other words, it's not a UFO. It's not a solid object or spacecraft in the sky, as many people tried to claim.
Exactly where the Sapphire Club is on that map. If you don't know there's a light pillar map, this gives the illusion of the searchlight glinting off something. But when you think about the scale and looking down from 15,000 feet, it makes sense. This is something we've seen in the past, but it's rare to get such a great example. There's only 2 other good examples I know of. One from Shenzhen in China, where we see a little map of the city from above.
Is that a UFO and a spaceship too? Should I pretend it is? Because you want to believe that aliens are invading or coming here or whatever? Or do we have to look at things with facts, science, and, discernment?
Viewed from street level, the Chinese meteorologist described this as warm night light pillars. The other example is from Ura in Finland, where again we see a map of the city lights, this time with visible roads. Meteorologists described this one as perhaps the only example of such a thing, but I think the Vegas light pillar map is pretty close, except all we see are hotels and a strip club. Why bother to explain something as simple as reflections off clouds? Well, it's not really that simple. A light pillar map is a very rare event, so rare I had to invent a name for it. So it's understandable that people not recognize it and even then not immediately understand aspects like the glinting light. So let's not give them a hard time. Light pillar maps are pretty amazing and unusual. And next time one crops up, then people will, understandably, think that it's a UFO too. But now you can send them this video.
Yeah, good job. Good job, Mick West. Mick West does good work. And I really don't care what anybody says about him. Is he right? Yeah, he's 100% right. So what am I supposed to do? Ignore evidence and pretend it's a spaceship still? This is the problem with this thing, that the believers just want to believe. They don't care if it's fake. Don't, bother them with the facts. Their mind is already made up. And that's a real, real big problem. It's a big problem. Don't bother them with facts. Don't bother them with science or physics explaining sightings as nothing extraordinary, because they want so desperately to believe that it's aliens that they don't want to see the science. They don't want to see the facts or the evidence involved, right? And, I'm not going to lie to an audience. I'm not going to ignore facts. I'm not going to do that. We have to deal in reality here. I don't live in a fairy tale fantasy land like Project Unity or Richie Grifton or Third Phase of Fake, right? We have to deal in reality. So, yeah. Back to, let's do this. Let's read the super chats so far. I'm sorry that I missed them. I didn't realize, so I apologize. We're going to thank Sweet Cheeks for a kind and generous $10 super chat. Says, I so respect your research. I always know you do your homework. Well, thank you. We try our very best to, Sweet Cheeks. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Richard Hawley with a kind and generous $6.99 and a super sticker. That's a fun cat. We have My Flock is Everywhere with a kind and generous $2 super sticker. Have a great show, Stephen. Praise the cash. Yes, praise the cash. And Collie Armstrong with a kind and generous $3 super chat. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. So going forward, I'm going to be monitoring the live chat. I apologize for not doing so earlier. And we're going to get into this Richie Grifton and Third Phase of Fake. And there's some things that are important. Richie wants to pretend that he's the victim here and not the perpetrator, but his own words betray him, right? He is the perpetrator here for fat shaming people. He's the perpetrator for calling people pedos, for saying the third phase of moon hoaxed and faked things. And by the way, when he did that, he knew that they were using 100% fake videos. And we proved that here. He's the perpetrator for saying someone faked their cancer while he was working with UFO Proof, a man that we can verifiably prove faked terminal brain cancer and stole gift certificates from his own cancer benefit, right? Because people in his community ran a cancer benefit for that guy. They felt so bad for him. He made it up so that he could steal drug money from people. That's who Richie GRIFTON works with. While he's accusing another man of faking cancer, he's working with one that verifiably did fake cancer. And by the way, Gigi is not faking his cancer. The man Richie GRIFTON accused of faking cancer posted his medical paperwork proving that he had a cancer diagnosis and a treatment plan. Gigi even offered to let me call and speak to his doctor to verify that he really had cancer. Has Rich apologized for that? No. He's still working with Third Phase of Moon, who employ a man, UFO Proof, who did fake his cancer and stole gift certificates from his own cancer benefit. And by the way, where's UFO Proof now? Third Phase of Fake. Where's UFO Proof now? Richie GRIFTON. Right now, he's missing in action, and he's on the run from the law because he has multiple outstanding criminal warrants for his arrest. You guys work with criminals. Richie GRIFTON works with criminals. They milk a criminal for fake stories, right? And he's also the perpetrator who is defaming, slandering, and trying to damage the reputation of a retired police officer who happens to be disabled. And he has zero evidence of that, right? And he's doing all these things, but he's going to call other people, oh, those people that are saying the third phase fake things, they're narcissists, right? Yeah, we're narcissists with a goddamn mountain of overwhelming evidence that third phase of moon fake shit. We're narcissists with a mountain of evidence that Richie GRIFTON doesn't want to talk about. And, I wasn't going to play this one again, but let's play it again because I want to remind you people giving him money what you're supporting. We need to remind you of what you're supporting when you send money to Rich from Gufon, who works for Third Phase of Fake, the biggest UFO frauds in history.
Oh, wow, what a great job. They're fakers, they're hoaxers, they're liars, they're cheaters, they're making money. What about Scambian and his scantily clad sluts dancing on a pole in the beginning of his show? How does that have to fit into ufology with your whores? I don't know. I think one of those is his wife or ex-wife or something like that. Yeah. The ugly one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they're not ugly. The one with the big jugs is probably Cambian's wife. Probably bought him for. Probably was sitting there watching her on the pole and just like, I gotta have her. And I'm making it rain. I'm making it rain. Pennies. You can't do that, sir. You can't throw pennies. That's all she's worth. I'm gonna marry her. That's right. Nobody knows how to do this funny. You know what I mean? Do I need to remind you what funny is? I think I need to remind you people what funny is. I think I do. I'm going to bring up what funny should be. Because it's been a minute, right? And hold on. I took the video down because I said, I'm better than this. I said, this isn't Gufon. This isn't what I'm about, right? That's what I said. But funny is funny, right? Is it not? Funny is funny, no matter who's doing it. Not really, right? Not really. But let me show you what funny is. See, when I make videos, I don't go out and do hard, fake debunking and all that stuff. I just be me, and I have a lot of fun with it. And you got to learn how to use your comedy, which a lot of people don't know. Remember this? Remember this little nugget? I've never brought anything positive to this field. I don't do that. I don't live in the positive world. I can't do it. There's so many people out there that lie, they cheat, they steal, and I just can't do it anymore. I mean, call me if you need anything debunked. I'm the best at making shit up. That's what I do. I'm Kylo Cambion. That's my name. And you're gonna learn a lot about me in the coming days. I gotta tell you, there's nothing more challenging than trying to debunk somebody when you don't have the evidence. So you gotta lie! That's what I'm doing! I have to lie. I got no choice. I can barely see. Uh-oh. Here's the bad joke of all jokes. This is me making fun of disabilities. You know, because I got one bad ball. But hey, I'm not going to say anything, disparaging about Rich. He's trying his best. He's trying his best. He hooked up with hoaxers. He hooked up with people that lie. They cheat. They didn't even interview Billy. I was supposed to interview Billy Gibbons. I lied. I lied again. I'm just trying the best I can with the little bit amount of energy that I have to do this podcast. I gotta lie for an hour straight. I gotta yell for 2 hours. How does anybody do this? Well, I can do it because I'm a magician and I know how to lie to people. I know how to trick people. I'm better than Lou Elizondo. Jammer Travels throwing down $5. I just had to show the difference between what I do and what they do. And now you know why I took the video down. And I'm not ashamed of saying what I said. I don't give a shit. Comedy's comedy. And you're going to put yourself out there like I do. Heck, nah. Jammer Travels throwing down $5 again. That's love. That's what you threw down. Love right there. Thank you very much. I know that they were probably thinking I wasn't going to show the part where I said one bad ball. But that was about his testicles. Yeah. That's all. That's what that was supposed to be about. You never saw that video before? You want me to finish it? I'll finish it. All right, you ready? You see, that's why I don't play this stuff, because it's not really what we're about. That's why I took it down. And it's still down, but calm down. Everybody just calm the fuck down. I've got a lot of things I want to say, but I can't really say them all in this video. Just know this, that I'm doing the best I can with the lies I got. That's all I can do. And maybe I did go a little too far. When I can't help it. It's not off limits. Nothing is off limits. And I don't see what's so bad about me saying that. It's comedy. I thought he was above that. Well, that's why I took the video down, because I was getting so much shit for saying that. Can't even say anything funny. It's not funny. Making fun of disabled people's not funny. He makes fun of no. I don't make fun of disabled people. I didn't make fun of anything. I just said I got one bad ball, one good ball, one bad ball. However you interpret that is up to you. That's on you. You don't know what I'm thinking. It may look one way, but it doesn't mean it. Does it? Who cares? It's funny. Funny's funny. Then I surely can say one bad ball. Because you could be friends, Stephen, with a pedophile. You know? What does that make you? A pedophile? Maybe it does. Show that likes bashing us and everything else. And now she's starting her show when we start ours, or halfway through it. So she's trying to steal you guys away from me, because you know, when you have a show where you have 135 people and then all of a sudden it's half of that, you're going to try to steal from the place that, you know, people want to go to instead of the angry channel. You know, Stephen Cambion looks like a lesbian with a bad haircut. Yeah, he does. I'm sorry, I had to say that. Send Master Me with $2 to kick it off. We are super donated tonight on Gufon. That's what we do here. You know, we beg for money. We beg for money. That's what we're now begging for money. Yeah. All hail the cash. Praise the cash. No. Stealing my ideas.
So there's a clown who works for the biggest hoaxers ever in the history of UFOs, the biggest fraudsters, who, by the way, if you're going to be a hoaxer, at least be good at it. They get caught time and time again, right? And, you know, at first he lied and said he wasn't making fun of my disability. He was talking about my testicles, which, you know, okay, there's an arrow going right to my eye, you idiot. Does he think everybody is really that stupid? But on last night's show, he pretty much admitted, oh, yeah, I made fun of his disability, and that triggered him. Well, yeah, maybe making fun of something that somebody can't do anything about is triggering, right? Just like you said that you use the P word, right? Implying that I have friends that have problems with children because you knew it would trigger me. That's something a psychopath does, right? If we're going to talk about psychological terms like narcissism. And by the way, you know, he does a whole show rehashing all of this because he's so lazy that he didn't have anything to do a show on. So he thought, well, let me bring back that, right? Because I lost the entire battle before, but somehow I've got new stupid people that I can convince that I didn't do anything wrong. There's what he did. And when you assholes send him money, that's what you're supporting. And I'm just one of, I think, 3 or 4 disabled people that he's made fun of in the past. And why is he talking about my wife? Why does he have to talk about my children, right? I know what you can do if you need content, Rich, because it would be funny and even I'd watch it. You can go through both documentaries that are in the description of this video, right? Go through them all minute by minute and tell everybody that every single debunk in those 2 documentaries is 100% wrong and you're right and we're wrong, right? And, you know, it didn't piss me off that much that he made fun of my disability. It did surprise me. But even with one good eye, I can see what kind of a person he is. Even with one good eye, I can see that he keeps lying to his audience. Even with one good eye, I can see that he is a lazy slob grifter who doesn't do a real show. He just steals material from everybody and talks over it like he's some kind of UFO expert, which makes me ask the question, would you listen to an expert on something who has been caught lying through his fake teeth to his audience for over a year? Would you listen to somebody who's an expert on something who goes and attacks people, calling them pedos, or making fun of their disabilities, or fat shaming people, or talking about their critics' wives, right? Why would you listen? Listen, his kind of show concept or idea would work if he was a true expert. And he talks about all the research that he does. And he spent 12 hours a day for 6 years researching. Where is it? Where's his research? We never see any of it. All we see is him doing cringeworthy shit like that to get people. Did you hear what that idiot said now? That's what half his views come from. Let's go see what the clown GRIFTON idiot said now about the good people in the community, right? And for anyone to suggest that we were wrong about third phase of moon, well, there's 2 documentaries in the description of the video. Go watch both of them and then tell me that I'm wrong about third phase of moon. And what is my point on third phase of moon? They're grifters, they're con artists, they're scammers, and they're fraudsters who have been caught over 100 times pushing 100% provably fake stories. That's my point. And he likes to continually repeat these lies like I gave him some kind of an ultimatum. How many times do I have to say it? I never gave him any ultimatum. Never. I said if he works for third phase of moon, he has no credibility. That's what I said. That's not an ultimatum. I didn't tell him he had to quit. I didn't tell him he should quit. I didn't tell him he shouldn't be friends with anybody. Never said any of those things. I simply said, and rightly so, if you work for the biggest scammer, grifter, con artist, fraudsters in a particular field, you have no credibility yourself. And I love how he loves to call everybody liars. Prove it. Prove I lied, Rich. There's literal videos on my channel of me proving that you lied to your audience 10 times. He can say things, but he never proves them. And by the way, keep it up, Rich. There's going to be consequences for that. And if you don't think so, keep it up, you dumb dickhead living in a goddamn trailer in your parents' backyard. Do they know what you're doing? Do they know that they're giving you a free place to live so that you could go on the internet and lie about people and slander people who are revealing that you're working for criminals? Do your parents know you're working for criminals? But I'm the bad guy here. You got to remember that. I'm the bad guy because we did good, credible work and showed with facts, evidence, science, and research that third phase of moon keeps defrauding the public for 100% provably fake videos that aren't UFOs. I'm the bad guy here. And you see, this is what burns him up. He wants to be a respected person. He wants to be somebody that people can trust on a particular subject, whether it be UFOs or paranormal stuff or anything. But no one can trust him because he works for scammers. No one can trust what he says. When he calls somebody else a liar, the first thing people think of is, but you work for the biggest liars. When he calls somebody else a hoaxer, the first thing people think is, but you work for the biggest hoaxers in the business, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. And let me just thank, we want to thank Sarah for a kind and generous super chat here. Thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and your continued support of the show. And thank you, Chet, a channel member. And thank you, Sarah, for also being a channel member. Says, UFO community displays the classic definition of, quote, willing suspension of disbelief, unquote. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. So it gets better, though, because after we put out 2 documentaries proving that he works for the biggest UFO fraudster clowns ever in the history of UFOs, right? Then we got new information passed to us that proves 100% that somebody created a fake video, sent it to third phase of moon, told them how they faked it, talked to Rich from GRIFTON, told Rich how they faked it, and then third phase put it up on their channel pretending it was a UFO or something mysterious, and Rich said nothing. You know, he was too busy calling everybody critical of third phase pedophiles during that time period. He was too busy making fun of disabled people or talking about my wife's tits that whole time or my children, right? He never, ever wants to confront the evidence. There is a mountain of evidence. Rich, you coward, you pussy. Here's what you should do. Go through the documentaries, both of them on your show, minute by minute, and tell everyone that every single video in those documentaries was real aliens or a real UFO and not fake, as we proved in 2 documentaries. And this is how goddamn stupid this guy is. He's so goddamn stupid that he thinks he's going to win an argument, right, about third phase are good guys and they're not faking things. He thinks he's going to win that argument when there's a goddamn mountain of evidence that they are faking things. And yes, Rich, even with one good eye, I can see that you've been lying through your teeth for 2 years now. You've been lying through your teeth telling people third phase of moon hasn't faked anything in the past 5 years. We proved that they did. You've been lying through and even with one good eye, I can see that you're lying to your audience when you then backpedal and say, oh, well, Steve Campion caught them faking shit again. So now I have to move the goalpost and say they haven't faked anything in the past 3 years. Even with one good eye, Rich, I could see you're a liar. Even with one good eye, I could see you're lying to everyone when you say they haven't faked anything on purpose, because we caught them over and over and over again faking things on purpose. And with one good eye, I could see you're a liar when you say, well, they haven't faked anything themselves. We proved they faked things themselves. We proved that they knowingly, willingly used 100% fake UFO videos that somebody sent them. We proved that you knew about it and you lied to everyone this whole time. So get my name out of your mouth, you piece of shit. And let's remind people that that he's attacking everyone for calling third phase of moon fraudsters, fakers, hoaxers. The whole time he knew about it. He was told, I sent in a fake video to third phase of moon. Oh, and they used it anyway. And what did he do? He kept his mouth shut about it. You know why? Because they feed him stupid people. Do you know why? Because they give him money. You're going to trust a guy about third phase of moon who's on the payroll, right? And then he lied. Oh, they don't pay me to defend them. Oh, and while we're on the subject, third phase of moon, you let him do it again. Do you understand, third phase of moon, the level of liability that you are at right now? Rich likes to say, well, people can sue me. I don't have anything. You can't get blood from a stone, right? He's doing these things in your defense. Again, he made a video making fun of my disability. You haven't fired him or ended your relationship with him. In the past, he made a video making fun of my disability. You didn't fire him or end your relationship with him. He, while in your employment or a subcontractor, whatever, having a business relationship with you, called your critics, third phase of moon, pedos with absolutely no evidence, nothing. Did you come out and apologize to those people, third phase of moon? You assholes? Or did you say nothing? Did you not end the relationship? That's how you know that these people are fly-by-night and criminals, because they want him doing that. That's the only explanation for why they haven't ended their relationship with him. People who have morals or ethics would immediately fire somebody that works for them doing these things. Third phase of moon has said nothing. They have done nothing. While he continues to mock people with disabilities, attack people viciously, he just slandered a former police officer. Why? Why did he slander a former police officer? Oh, because he was critical of third phase of moon. And third phase of moon did nothing. As their business partner, GRIFTON, did that in defense of third phase of moon. So third phase of moon, you're responsible for that monster, for all of this. And if you don't immediately end your relationship with him, if he does this again, there will be consequences for you, not him, you. He's doing all this in your defense. He's doing all this and saying all these things, and you sat by and did nothing. Every single time he did that, you kept paying him, you kept the business relationship going, which means that you either condone that or you're directing him. to be your attack dog mouthpiece and attack all of your critics. That's the only explanation that I can come up with. So Rich thinks there's no consequences and he could just keep going. Great. Great. I love it. I love it. And Third Phase of Moon doing nothing opens them up to an incredible can of liability here. Do you think that you're going to let somebody that's in a business relationship with you continue to do that stuff, Third Phase of Moon, and there won't be consequences for you doing that? You think that's just okay? You think, there isn't any consequences to be had? What do I have to do to shut your clown up? Because I'm this goddamn close, you assholes. But let's remind everybody that this entire time that Richie GRIFTON is blaming everybody else for all of his problems, blaming everybody else. Oh, all you mean people attacking Third Phase of Moon. Nobody attacked anybody. We showed with facts and evidence that they are defrauding the public. And you defending that shows your true character. You know what else shows your true character? Lying to your audience for over a year. The entire time he's attacking us for saying third phase fake things, he's having messages back and forth with people who fake things and send it into Third Phase of Moon. They told him how they faked the videos they sent to Third Phase of Moon. He kept his mouth shut about all of it because he's a slime ball loser living in his parents' trailer in their backyard who can't make it on his own. He's got to suck at the teat of fraudsters to get by in life. He knew this whole time he was doing all those things. He knew this whole time he was attacking everybody for saying third phase were fraudsters. He knew they were using 100% fake videos.
Weird. What the fuck is that?
Wonderful, wonderful job making some fake UFO videos. And remember, it was the second darker scene one, which was created with some lights and a reflected glass, a sheet of glass, just like their 2018 Pepper's Ghost Lights Over LA hoax. And by the way, Ian sent this to Secure Team 10 and to Third Phase of Moon. In the case of Third Phase of Moon, he told them, this is how I created it, with a sheet of glass and some red lights on a stick. And I filmed it at a 45-degree angle. It is a reflection off of glass. It's not a real object in the sky. I did this to display how quickly and easily one can create fake UFO videos. Then Third Phase of Moon talked to Rich about it. They talked amongst themselves, and Third Phase of Moon told Rich that this second video with the red lights in the night sky was fake and how the faker faked it. It was a reflection off of glass. The person who created these fake UFO videos sent the video to Rich to see what he thought about it. Rich then talked to Third Phase of Moon about it, who was also sent the video and told it was fake. And Third Phase of Moon told Rich, yes, that one's fake, and here's how the guy faked it. It's a reflection off of glass. So later, Ian talked to Rich, and Rich acknowledged that Third Phase of Moon faked. Rich acknowledged that Third Phase of Moon told them that it was fake and how they faked the video. In other words, Third Phase of Moon told Rich, yeah, that video is fake, and here is how the faker faked it, right? Just 1 second, friends. I'm going to pull up the messages that are relevant here. And by the way, I just want to mention to Third Phase of Moon and to Rich from Gufon that tonight is the first of many. I've got all kinds of people whispering things in my ears, sending me screenshots of messages. People who helped Third Phase of Moon fake things and make money aren't very happy, apparently, with Third Phase of Moon. And so whistleblowers are starting to come forward to me. and share things like messages and emails. And it gets worse from here. It gets much, much worse from here. Tonight is just, consider it an opening move, right? This is just my opening. We've got a lot more for you. A lot more. There's people coming together, coming to me saying, I helped. Here's how I sent them a fake video that they used, and more. We've got all kinds of more evidence, and I'm sure there'll be some excuses for that, right? Great. So first, on August 8th, 2021, Ian sends Rich the video, which we shared, the totally fake UFO video, just asking him what does he think of the video. And we are going to share my screen and share with you that that exchange in messages. Now, remember, this message exchange happened August. Let me see. It was August 8th and August 13th. And then we're going to see that on August 23rd, Third Phase of Moon posted this 100% fake generated, created UFO hoax video and pretended they did not know that it was fake. So let me share my screen here. So this is August 8th. Ian sends Rich from Gufon the fake UFO video, asks him what he thinks. Rich says, major problem I have with the video is the shake. I would say it looks good and real, but there's a drone-like quality to it. It almost seems to move to the left and right like a drone does, very slightly. But since there's no tripod being used or leaning up against something to see pure movement, I don't know. I'll analyze it soon and get back. And the volume is very, very low for some suspicious reason. You shot this video. I believe the volume is low to not hear the drone. Don't know, but I'm super suspicious. And Ian sends him back a message that says, excellent. It's an exercise in illustrating a fake UFO. Then Ian tells Rich, this is August 9th, exactly how he faked it. It's an LED bicycle brake light taped to my ceiling pendant. Pepper's ghost illusion. Then he shares with Rich the original video that he has on YouTube. That's the full-length version with the full audio. See the TV reflection at the start. It's very important to note that Third Phase of Moon cut the TV reflection from their version of the video that they shared and pretended was a real UFO sighting. 1 second. Now we get to this next message, which is really damaging. Here, Rich is begging him for some of his content, right? The Martians video was cool. I love that. Did you make that? Is the music copyrighted? I want to play it here and throughout tonight's show if I could. I could use my own music if need be. Thanks for sending it. Then he says, Third Phase of Moon must have told me it was you who told them and they told me. Ha, I have so many conversations late in the wee hours. Hi, and sometimes I make mistakes. Here's the gotcha moment. Rich acknowledges that Third Phase told him it's a reflection. Third Phase must have told me it was you who told them and they told me. It's a reflection, right? That's what they told me. Third Phase of Moon tells Rich, this is not a real UFO video. It's a reflection, a Pepper's ghost. That's what they told me. Now I need to know. Ian acknowledges, yes, it's a Pepper's ghost. Again, telling him for the second time that it is a 100% fake manufactured video. It's a Pepper's ghost. It's 3 LED brake lights taped to my ceiling pendant. I'm shooting at a 45-degree angle to the glass. Is great. The footage is from Martian War, the other trailer. That's another video they're talking about. I'll be in chat later if you need me, boss. Rich acknowledges that he saw Ian on Fessler's show. I didn't know you co-host. Good to know. I'll see you in chat. And thanks for confirming you made that UFO. Thanks for confirming, Rich says, you made that UFO. Ian says it's an experiment. We did want to see if Tyler would play it. I have evil auto spell. All right. So he says it's an experiment. We did that to see if Tyler would play it. And he also, by the way, did it to see if Third Phase would use it. And they did, and pretended they didn't know it was fake. Right? Thanks for confirming you made that UFO. Yes, it's a Pepper's ghost. So here we have 100% proof that Rich is told that this video is 100% manufactured fake UFO. This is on August 13th, 2021. The next week, on August 23rd, 2021, Third Phase of Moon posts the video and pretends it's a real UFO and is mysterious. Maybe it's aliens, right? Rich was told this is a fake UFO. It's a Pepper's ghost, 3 LED brake lights taped to my ceiling pendant. I'm shooting at a 45-degree angle to the glass. Rich thanks him for confirming that he made that UFO. In other words, Ian told both Third Phase of Moon and Rich, this is a fake UFO, and this is exactly how I created this fake UFO. This is on August 13th, 2021. This confirms that Rich knows that the video is 100% manufactured fake. This confirms that Third Phase of Moon told Rich that this particular video is 100% manufactured fake UFO, a fake UFO. That was on August 13th that this exchange took place. Now, we will fast forward to August 23rd. August 23rd, Third Phase of Moon posted that video pretending that it was a spaceship, pretending it was something mysterious. Rich knew it was fake. Third Phase of Moon knew it was fake. This is 100% overwhelming proof that Rich from GRIFTON, Gufon, has been lying to everyone this entire time he has been attacking Third Phase of Moon critics. This confirms 100% that Rich knew they were using fake videos. Rich knew it, and he said nothing. And there's a reason that he said nothing, and that is because he's on the payroll. And I believe, and I'm entitled to my belief, that it's his job to attack Third Phase of Moon's critics. And by the way, he has been successful in shutting certain people up, but not me. No, we don't shut up that easily. And last night, Richie GRIFTON goes on a rant calling me a narcissist, calling everyone a narcissist. Apparently, everyone who says Third Phase of Moon posts fake videos is a narcissist. Well, what about the guy who knew that they were posting fake videos and decided to keep working for them anyway? What about the guy who called all of Third Phase of Moon's critics pedos while he was getting messages from people faking videos for them and keeping his mouth shut? You see the problem with this? There's a big problem here. So I'm a narcissist because we proved that Rich lied to everyone, right? And I'm doing this to make myself feel better somehow, right? I have to attack people. No, we do this because we go after the truth here. We do not do anything out of malicious intent. We're going for the truth. And I like to show people what sources of information are credible and what sources of information are garbage. Third Phase of Moon are garbage peddlers. We've just seen 100% proof that Third Phase of Moon accept 100% faked videos, even when they're told it's a fake video. And here's how I faked it. They post it anyway, pretending it's a goddamn spaceship. And GRIFTON knew all of this. So, hey, GRIFTON, you want to open another can of worms? Remember, I mentioned that there was other whistleblowers. Do you know how much more shit like this I have on you and your third phase of fake puppet masters? Do you want me to start posting it all? Are you that stupid? I'll tell you exactly what happened. Grifton Clown has to do the super chat shuffle every day to try to make a living and beg people for super chats, you know, because he's some kind of UFO expert. A UFO expert who is aware that people who employ him are defrauding the public, and he sits back and says nothing. So he has to do the super chat shuffle every day. He's always running out of material. And when he runs out of material, I'll just go put somebody on blast and call them narcissists for an hour or 2 hours straight with no evidence or no proof. By the way, have you ever been to therapy, Rich? Do you have any evidence or proof that I'm a narcissist? Why are you defrauding the public while you're taking money, making claims about me with absolutely no evidence? Do you have a statement from my psychiatrist that I am a narcissist or display narcissistic personality disorder? No? Then why are you on a public live stream telling people that? You dumb dickhead. Are you that stupid? Do you have any idea what kind of liability that opens up for you? You can't do that. You're not a psychiatrist. You're not a psychologist. You have no evidence or proof to support your claims. That is done specifically to defraud me, to cause me emotional distress, to slander me, to damage my reputation in the public sphere in which I work in, and with malicious intent. Because you know that you have no evidence of that. You know you have no proof of that. But just keep talking, dummy. Just keep talking, dummy. Every time I think of Richie Grifton, I think of a ventriloquist dummy. And it's third phase pulling the goddamn string behind this idiot's neck, getting him to say this stupid shit. Wasn't going to do it, but we're going to do it. We'll play some portions of it. And in this, he also slanders and defrauds Anthony, unidentified S4, right? So, great. We'll play some of this. I have a selection here that I made just for this. And by the way, this is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public about UFO scammers, Richie Grifton, and third phase of fake, and how they like to attack their critics with no evidence, how they like to call their critics liars with no evidence that I've ever lied. I have never lied about third phase of moon or anything else on my show. Unlike you, Rich, don't you remember? Third phase of moon hasn't faked anything in the past 5 years. Oh, that turned out to be a lie. Third phase of moon hasn't faked anything in the past 3 years. Let's move the goalpost. That turned out to be a lie. Third phase of moon hasn't faked anything on purpose. That turned out to be a lie. Did they fake the video that we just showed where they were told it was fake and they pretended it wasn't fake anyway? Was that a hoax, Rich? Yeah, that was a hoax. That was 100% a hoax. And you knew all about it. And you sat there like a dummy and you didn't say anything. So this is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're going to respond to this clown's claims of narcissism and all this other nonsense. Great.
Same exact thing that happened. We started out as acquaintances, became friends, started talking, sharing stuff. And then one thing triggered her. And Scambian and all the other girls just turned on the narcissistic rage. You saw it. If you were here, you saw it all.
No, there was no narcissistic rage. And in fact, you were the person, Rich, who made this all so personal. Why did you bring my child into this? Why did you bring my wife into this? Why are you talking about my wife's tits on the internet, you dumb dickhead? Right? What do they have to do with you getting caught lying? Are you so, this man is so shameless that since we caught him lying to his audience, he's got to muddy the waters. Since we caught him working for the biggest UFO scammers that have ever entered the field of UFOs, since we caught him knowing that they use fake videos, and since we caught him in all of this, he has to attack my child. He has to attack my wife. He has to attack me for having a disability. He has to tell people that I may have friends that are pedos, and that might make me a pedophile. Now he's going on a public live stream telling everybody that I'm a narcissist and a bad person with zero evidence of any of this. No, Rich, there's no narcissistic rage here. It's called defending yourself when somebody is lying about you. And again, why don't you go through both documentaries, right? You got 100 hoaxes to explain to prove that we're wrong. Why don't you do that instead of talking about my family, you slimeball lowlife? Why don't you do that? And by the way, we were never friends. Hey, Rich, how do you not understand what a friend is? A friend doesn't do what you did to me for having an opinion. And let's be clear, when I told Rich that I would be telling the truth about third phase, that's when things went south, right? He couldn't have that. He couldn't let me have an opinion. And he likes to lie and pretend that I told him we couldn't be friends anymore if he was going to work for third phase. That's not what happened. What happened is I wasn't going to keep my mouth shut any longer. And I told everyone the truth. And then it all snowballed from there, right? But we were never friends. Hey, Rich, how stupid are you? Do you know how stupid you are? I was never your friend. Never. I was never, ever your friend. Maybe, just maybe, I was ingratiating myself in you, with you. Maybe, just maybe, I ran an op on you so that I could get close to you and my real targets, third phase of moon, and I could find all your dirt and reveal it to the world. You are so terrible at this. You are so stupid, so dumb, and so easy. You were easy to manipulate into giving up their secrets. Friends. I'm not friends with people who work for scammers. I'm not friends with people who make fun of people with disabilities or slander and attack people for telling the truth.
And you want to know why I kept quiet?
Oh, yeah, he's been real quiet, sure. He's been quiet because he's ashamed of himself. A normal person would be ashamed, so ashamed of getting caught lying to hundreds of people and begging for money while they were lying to hundreds of people every day, that they would just disappear. Not this guy. He kept right on doing the super chat shuffle, right? But he's the good guy in this whole story. That's what he's telling people. It's ridiculous, but that's what he's trying to pretend. I'm the bad guy. And by the way, again, none of this got personal until he started bringing my family into this or attacking me for having a paralyzed eye on public live streams. And by the way, Rich, that's not comedy. Show me another comedian making fun of disabled people on purpose. You can't, because that's not acceptable. That's not something, that's not funny. That's not comedy, despite what you think.
And tried my best not to say anything.
Oh, yeah, he's tried.
I did one video, right? 5-minute video. And I made some comments and they just couldn't.
And he called me a liar during that and said that we have no evidence. Hey, Rich, you dumb dickhead. There are 2 documentaries full of evidence. And you're telling your audience, you're lying to your fake teeth to your audience, and you're telling them that we don't have any evidence. There's no proof third phase of moon ever hoaxed anything, right? Isn't that what you said? There's no proof that third phase of moon ever hoaxed anything. We've got 2-hour-plus documentaries proving that they participated in perpetrating at least, 50 hoaxes. And by the way, Rich, how many times does somebody get caught hoaxing or faking shit before you say they're hoaxers? 10 times? We could prove they hoaxed 10. 20 times? We can prove they hoaxed 20. 30 times? We can prove they hoaxed 30. 40, 50, 100? How many times, Rich? Right? And the fact that this clown thinks that nobody can see through the fact that he's defending them because they pay him. That's why he's defending them, because he's such a slimeball, low-life dirtbag who has nothing to offer the world, that his only shot at making a little bit of money is defending third phase of moon clowns, right? And let's be clear, that's what they are. And how many times have you lied to your audience, right? Let's review some of it.
Well, Rich, looks like you failed terribly in this challenge. I could go on, debunking every single one of Third Phase of Moon's videos, but that's enough. They no longer have any credibility. Their empire, that was built on a mountain of lies and deceit, has fallen. The only thing they have accomplished in this field is their contribution to undermining serious scientific research and discouraging real researchers and scientists from looking into the subject for fear of losing their jobs and reputations because of the stigma surrounding the UFO topic, mostly created by delusional people, charlatans, and fraudsters like them. It's time to put an end to their nonsense, once and for all. Alright, back to Rich Giordano's rambling. On May 27th, he reacted to a video posted by Stephen Cambion, criticizing his hypocrisy and exposing Third Phase of Moon's hoaxes, including the TR-3B craft over the Czech Republic. Here's what he said about it.
Craft just hovering in the sky, and people on the ground have no idea what it is. And what's crazy about this?
By the way, that if there were any showing that says they stole it,
be or some kind of triangular craft just hovering in the sky.
That is a bold-faced lie.
He lied and said that I said that they stole that fake TR3B video. No, I didn't. I never said that Third Phase stole the TR3B video that we caught them with from February 2022, hoaxing or faking or clickbaiting garbage. I never said that they stole it. The original uploader of the video made a video accusing them of stealing it. And by the way, he contacted them, crickets.
No a pokud jste reportáž dokoukali až sem, tak vyražte i vy ven a mrkněte po svém okolí, co kde svítí, kde co lítá. Pro mě záhadologie všedního dne znamenala v této praštěné době kromě reportáže 2 procházky.
Have no idea what it is. And what's crazy about this, it's just not...
See, this is where Cambion doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks he's great, and maybe he is on other things, but he rushed into this, and you didn't do any research. You didn't call the Cousins brothers and ask them, where did they get that video from? They got it from Jaime Maussan, not from the actual person.
So, not only are you working with 2 proven liars and hoaxers, but you're also using videos from Jaime Maussan, the biggest UFO hoax promoter in this field. Dude, you're sinking lower and lower every time you give those silly excuses.
They have an agreement with Jaime Maussan that they could use any videos they want, and Jaime could use their videos. So they got it from Jaime. Then when the guys who put the video up there, they actually made a hoax. They hoaxed it.
Wrong, it was a joke by Czech journalist and researcher, Jaroslav Marez, to celebrate the 6th anniversary of his YouTube channel. His followers were fully aware of the video being a joke.
And then within 10 to 12 hours, Third Phase of Moon removed that video. They didn't leave it up, because when they found out it was a hoax, they took it down.
And right now, the original uploader says he's got some information, but right now, keep it on the down low. So that's why we removed it. He asked us to remove it, which is pretty cool. He gave us a heads up. So that's good. But again, we're in communication. Hopefully, we could bring you the exact news of what happened in the Czech Republic.
It's not Jaime Maussan who gave you the video. Third Phase of Moon clearly stole it from the original uploader without their permission, to create a hoax, and when they got busted, they removed it, to avoid a copyright strike, and invented that false story, about being in contact with the original uploader. The fact you keep talking with such a straight face, is making my blood boil.
See, that's where Cambion's wrong again. Then he says there's a video that they used where they said they were in the Philippines when it was filmed in Hawaii. Again, that was 8 years ago. I told Cambion everything that they've done in the last 5 years is not on purpose. If somebody sent them CGI, they wouldn't post it.
Are you sure about that?
Talking about how Greer's this and they're that, and all they do is hoax stuff, hoax things, and I'm like, whoa, man, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
The next day.
You know, I said in my show yesterday that Third Phase has never been caught hoaxing a video.
A few minutes later.
And also, I also said, if you can find anything in the last 5 years, because since they came out and changed their ways and said, look, we made mistakes, we've owned up to it, we don't want to be that anymore.
3 days later.
I told Cambion everything that they've done in the last 5 years is not on purpose.
What a shameless hypocrite you are. The biggest irony is that you always talk about the need for integrity in ufology, yet, look at what you're doing. Rich, we know you had nothing to do with all of this. Our problem was only with Third Phase of Moon, but it was you who stepped in and put yourself in trouble the moment you denied all the facts and chose to accuse us of being liars. If you work with the biggest liars, clickbaiters, and hoaxers in ufology, and constantly defend them, no matter what happens, then you don't have the moral high ground to call us liars. I hope this video serves as a wake-up call for you. If you are truly a man of integrity and principles, and want the best for ufology, then stand up for the truth and call the cousins out for constantly creating hoaxes and deceiving their audience.
Yeah, do we think he's ever going to do that? Of course he's never going to do that, because he can't survive on his own, because he's a coward and a weakling. He couldn't build a show by himself. He needed to be constantly fed stupid people, subscribers from Third Phase of Moon. And by the way, you know, this whole thing is a joke to me. This man is going to go on a public live stream and tell people that I'm lying to people when he continually gets caught lying all through this whole thing. How many times are we going to catch you lying, Rich? How many times are we going to make you look stupid and childish and foolish? But you're going to do a public live stream telling everybody I'm the bad guy here? We have facts. We have evidence. We have proof. When I tell people you're a liar, I can prove it. You've never proven that I've lied about any of this. None of it. Nothing. And I love this. He's got to do the super chat shuffle. So, you know, let's get back to the super chat shuffle, where he's going to take money from people while lying about me. Right? Taking money from people while lying about me. You got to love it. You got to love it that he can take money from people while lying through his fake teeth. But somehow I'm the bad guy here, right? I'm the bad guy, not Rich. It's great. It's great. So let's get back to the video, see what else this clown has to say.
Let it go. 5 minutes is all it took. One line is all it took.
No, and then this whole dispute, he acts here like I did all of this because he made fun of me having a paralyzed eye, and that somehow triggered me. That was just one thing that he did. He also made fun of my family, my children, my wife, right? My show. He tried to damage my reputation, my integrity, right? And how long are you going to lie and try to damage my reputation to suck up to Third Phase, who pays you to do that? How long are you going to do that, right? A smart person would just cut their losses and move on. But he's never been accused of being a smart man, this clown.
To trigger the rage. And that line was, I've got one bad ball.
Yeah, that was the line of you making fun of my disability, which, by the way, Rich, I can't do anything about my disability. So do you think that makes you a big man making fun of my disabled eye, does that make you a good person? Does that make you a funny comedian? No, it makes you an asshole, because that's what you are.
When men get older, things start to go bad. But apparently it backfired. But I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah, you don't care that you made fun of my disability because I was right about third phase? Great.
So my one line triggered.
Again, it wasn't one line. This man lied to everybody and told people that I was begging for super chats to buy my son a PlayStation. We showed the receipt. My wife already bought the PlayStation. I just happened to mention on my show that Christmas gifts are expensive. He turns that into me asking for super chats to buy expensive gifts for my children. He dragged my wife and my child into our disagreement because he's an intellectual coward and a weakling. An intellectual weakling. And he cannot withstand debate. So he has to personally attack me and my family. What did my 6-year-old son do to you, you asshole? What did my wife do to you, you asshole? Nothing. But you're going to keep attacking them because you work for scammers? It's my child's fault that you work for scammers? It's my wife's fault that you work for scammers? That you lied to everybody? So you have to attack my wife and my child because you lied to everyone? What kind of person does that make you?
Hours upon hours of rage and hate. That's all it took. It is not that hard to live inside a narcissist's head.
Yeah, and we're watching somebody living inside a narcissist's head. Do you know, Rich, one of the traits of a narcissist is never to admit when something is your fault? Whose fault is it that you work for scammers? Whose fault is it that you keep getting caught lying over and over and over again? Whose fault is that? Is it my fault? Is it my wife's fault? Is it my child's fault? Is it Anthony from Unidentified S4's fault? Is it Gigi's fault for having cancer? Remember you said he faked his cancer? No, he didn't.
And to mess around with it's so easy. All you have to do is say one thing they don't like. Boop.
Oh, yeah, it was one thing.
I can't.
Had nothing to do with you continually attacking my family. Nothing to do with you continually attacking my integrity when I told the truth and you lied. That's all anybody needs to know about this, Rich. When you lied to everybody, I told everybody the truth. That's the end of the story. You lied and I told everybody the truth. Then you start attacking my wife. You start attacking my children. You start attacking my integrity. Why? Because you lied and I told the truth.
I can tell you, we had so many views and a lot of people, they were all looking for stuff. Oh, we're going to ruin them. I have had so many notifications from YouTube.
Yeah, and by the way, YouTube's not doing their job correctly, Rich. And God help you if I do find somebody that's going to review the clips. And I have all of them. I have every clip of you attacking my family. I have every clip of you attacking disabled people. I have every clip of you fat shaming people. I have every clip, Rich. I have not reported you once. Keep attacking me, you dummy.
It's at least 100. At least 100 notifications over the
Show us. Show us the notifications. Let's see screenshots of it. He's lying here too.
summer, just people trying to report what I say and, oh, we've done a review on your video and we found there was nothing wrong with what you said.
Rich, is it against community guidelines to make fun of disabled people? Yes, it is. Is it against YouTube community guidelines to make fun of fat people, to fat shame people? Yes, it is. Is it against community guidelines to attack people's children on a public live stream? I believe it is. Is it against community guidelines to knowingly deceive people into clicking on your videos? Yes, it is. Right? So he didn't do anything wrong. And he's going to act like YouTube said everything that he's been saying on public live streams is okay. Hey, Rich, is it against YouTube community guideline strike to make fun of people that have cancer and say without any evidence whatsoever that they faked their cancer? Is that against YouTube community guidelines? Yes, it is. So don't you dare go on a public live stream and lie some more and say that YouTube is endorsing all these things you're doing. They don't. It's an AI doing some of those reviews probably.
I'm like, I didn't know anybody flagged that video. I'm like, holy shit. The main reason why I stopped saying anything, because it doesn't matter what we said. It didn't matter. We had the evidence.
What evidence? I've been asking you for months. Are you going to go through those 2 documentaries and prove us wrong on every single hoax that third phase of fake has perpetrated? Are they going to want you to do that? No. You keep saying you have all this evidence. He's got 1 point out of 1,000 data points that we may have been wrong on. The location of the lights over LA Pepper's ghost illusion hoax. But we know that that is completely a hoax because these guys, Third Phase of Moon and him, are claiming that there was a huge 100-foot lighted up UFO over the skies of LA for 15 minutes, and nobody saw it except for Third Phase of Moon, who just so happened to own a UFO channel on YouTube, right? And just so happened to have been caught perpetrating hoaxes many, many times. That's how we know that wasn't a real object in the sky. Not a single police report, not a single call to any of the authorities about a huge lighted up UFO in the sky. It was a Pepper's ghost illusion. He keeps saying that he's got evidence that we were wrong and it wasn't the location with the glass panels on the balcony. Great. Then post both addresses. But he won't. He just keeps lying.
It just didn't matter. They were right.
Post the evidence. Post it. Post it. Do you have evidence that we were wrong on all 100 hoaxes that we detailed in 2 documentaries? This is how dumb this guy is. There is literally 2 documentaries full of a mountain of evidence that Third Phase of Moon for decades have been hoaxing and faking things and defrauding YouTube and the public. Do you realize what you're doing, you dummy?
We were wrong. No matter what we said or did to prove them wrong.
What did you say or do to prove us wrong on 100 different hoaxes in those documentaries? 1 data point out of 1,000, and you keep saying that you have the evidence that we were wrong on 1 data point out of 1,000. That doesn't disprove the other 999 data points from being correct. Even if you did post the evidence, but you won't, you keep saying that you have evidence for 1 data point. What about the other 999 data points, Rich, that we were 100% right on? Does 1 wrong data point make the other 999 wrong too? Of course they don't. Post the evidence that you have. Post it. Post it. Stop saying you have it. Stop saying we don't want to see it. I've been saying I want to see it. And if I'm wrong on 1 data point, goddamn right, I will apologize on being wrong on 1 data point, but not on the rest of the documentaries.
We were wrong, even when we were right. It's like, can't they just say...
And this is his argument. Well, since they were wrong on 1 data point that I haven't proven they were wrong on, they're wrong about everything. And Third Phase are great guys, and I'm not a liar. Even though Steve Cambion keeps proving that I lied to my audience over and over and over and over again.
Hey, all right, you got that. Okay, you explained it to me. Why can't they have an adult conversation?
And I can. And if you explain that 1 data point, we will even correct the documentary and explain that we got 1 data point out of all of them wrong. But you won't post the evidence. You just keep saying that you have all of this evidence, but you won't post it. Why? Why won't you post it?
Because it's a
mental... Oh, I know why he won't post it. Because one of those locations was the father-in-law of Brent and Blake Cousins and was also, I believe, the site of many other hoaxes. And they don't want people to have that address and go on Google Maps and be able to prove more hoaxes. That's why he won't post this so-called evidence.
Disorder. And it's sad. And that's another reason why I didn't want to say much about these people.
He's the good guy here.
Because I feel sad for them. Deep down, I really do.
You're sad for me, who keeps proving that you keep lying to people. You're sad for me while you're making fun of my family? Were you sad for me about my disability while you were making fun of my disability? Were you sad for Gorilla Gamer while you were claiming that he faked cancer with absolutely no evidence? Were you sad for Anthony from Unidentified S4 while you keep calling him Fat Tony and making fun of him for being a little overweight? Are you sad that you slandered him again on this video, claiming he was a dirty cop with absolutely no evidence? You're sad for us? You're the sad one, pal. You are sad.
They need help. Real help. That's not about me. It's not about Third Phase. Everything they did was about them, their own reflection upon which they look at themselves in the mirror and hate every day.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just a hate-filled idiot that's wrong about everything. All of our facts check out, Rich. We have the facts. We have the evidence. You have talking points from your puppet masters. And somebody pointed out, oh, Third Phase is coming to visit Rich. That's why he feels like he can go, grow a set of balls and come after me again and lie through his fake teeth. Yeah, that's right. He has fake teeth. Lie through his fake teeth about me because, his grift master, puppet masters are coming to visit him. So he's all pumped up, right?
I know Fat Tony goes through a lot of shit. That guy.
Yeah, here we go. Fat shaming.
I guarantee
this is against community guideline strikes. This is a community guideline strike right here. You dummy. You just keep doing it.
And I don't know this, but he said he was a cop.
I don't know this, but I'm going to say these things anyway.
And I bet he was a dirty cop.
Do you have any evidence that Anthony from Unidentified S4 was a dirty cop? Did you do any research? Did you call the police department he worked for and ask for his disciplinary record? Because I did. Guess what, you dummy? He's got a clean record as a police officer. You idiot. You are right now slandering this man falsely. You were falsely accusing him of being a dirty cop, and you have no evidence that he ever was disciplined for anything in the line of anything wrong he did in the line of duty. And I have the evidence that proves that you just lied on this man. You just slandered this man with absolutely no evidence, absolutely no proof. Here you are lying again. And did you catch how he says, I don't do research? I don't do enough research, right? If you're going to claim that somebody's a dirty cop, shouldn't you have some evidence of that? Shouldn't you have checked into his disciplinary record with the police office that he worked for? That's what a real investigator or journalist does, not a clown that's just making shit up on the fly. Here he is he's just making all this up. And by the way, I have the records to prove that he's just making all this up. He's making all of this up. He's inventing false stories to discredit critics of Third Phase of Moon. And by the way, Third Phase of Moon, here's another one that you should fire him for. And if you don't, people will assume that you're condoning this. People will assume that you're directing this. Are you okay with him lying, calling somebody a dirty cop with zero evidence while he's defending you? Are you going to make a public statement apologizing to Anthony over this?
I bet you he altered police reports, lied, planted evidence. I think if he was a cop that worked on the streets, like a cop we all know and love, not somebody sitting in an office doing administration work.
This is how dumb this guy is. He didn't look into Anthony's background. He didn't request his disciplinary records. He didn't talk to internal affairs at the police department Anthony worked for. And by the way, Anthony has a spotless record, you dummy. You dummy. This is how stupid you are. This is how stupid you are. You put mouth in gear before you had facts in hand. You put your mouth in gear with no facts in hand. Now you just slandered Anthony. You just intentionally and maliciously maligned his reputation when you don't have the evidence. You don't have any facts.
Administrative work. If he was a beat cop, street cop, a tyrant, then because that's how I see that when I see him, when I watch him, and when he tried to lie and get away with the hoax.
He didn't hoax anything. He used the video for demonstration purposes. As soon as people got the wrong idea, he apologized for it. And by the way, even if Anthony 100% perpetrated a hoax once, what about your bosses that have perpetrated a hoax over 100 times that we can prove? Right? Why does he got to bring in other people and their sins? He's doing this to try to muddy the waters. Don't look here, look over here. Classic misdirection move. And he just slandered a good man, a man who served the community as a police officer admirably, and he's got no problems in his police disciplinary record, none. And this idiot had absolutely no facts in hand before making those absolutely malicious, slanderous statements designed to damage that man's reputation. Why? Because he was critical of Third Phase of Moon. And Third Phase of Moon is letting this clown that works for them do this. And they're not issuing a public apology or statement about any of this. By the way, Third Phase, do you want me to send you those police records? Because I can. Are you going to apologize for what this clown is doing while defending you? Are you going to fire him or end your business relationship because he keeps on dragging you into this mud that he's creating?
I know him better than he knows himself. That guy has some serious issues, health issues. He's way grossly overweight. And, sorry, I call him Fat Tony. I just don't like the guy. And I don't want to say his name. I don't want to say it.
Because you're a coward.
But that guy made up lies about me.
No, he didn't. He told the truth. And we can demonstrate that. And we can prove that he told the truth. I have the call logs, you clown. Again, no facts in hand before putting mouth in gear. And what did Anthony do? He told the truth that Third Phase of Moon and GRIFTON called him, telling him to lie and cover up his mistake.
Saying I'm a drug addict and he falls asleep at random times. Like, it doesn't matter that I say, I stayed up all night the night before. I mean, I don't drink. I smoke pot, but I don't do drugs.
Yeah, and you've nodded off while you're doing your show. So people are going to make assumptions about drug use, Rich. It's not a big, jump.
I'm just tired and I'm diabetic and I don't take medication. But for him to go out there and slander me, that made him feel good. And why any of you would watch that piece of shit, it doesn't make sense to
and
me.
Now he's going to tell people you shouldn't watch Anthony, right? Because Anthony told the truth about Third Phase. While I was lying through my fake teeth the whole time about Third Phase, Anthony was telling the truth. So you shouldn't watch him.
How you can look at that person the same way after knowing they lied about a video.
Yeah, he used a video where he was using it for display purposes because it was similar to his own experience. He apologized for it and he's moved on, right? But we're all supposed to forgive Third Phase for over 100 hoaxes. Forgive Richie GRIFTON for calling everybody pedos, for making fun of disabled people, for slandering everyone who is critical of Third Phase. We're all supposed to forgive him and Third Phase, but not Anthony for making one mistake, which he apologized for immediately, right?
Wasn't even theirs, saying it was, and making stuff up about me and Third Phase of Moon.
He didn't make up anything.
Extremely wrong. And Gorilla Gamer too.
What did Gorilla Gamer do? Oh, Gorilla Gamer caught Richie GRIFTON faking a spirit orb hoax with a laser pointer. And by the way, Rich, if it's not a hoax, you just have to, get out the Ouija board. Show us some spirit orbs with your hands tied to the table so you're not, and nobody else there, so that you're not using a laser pointer, right? But you attack Gigi.
If anybody here is going over there watching them, shame on you.
Shame on any of you who watch us for telling you the truth. Yeah, you shouldn't watch people who are telling you the truth while I'm lying to everyone. You shouldn't watch people who are telling the truth about Third Phase while I'm getting paid by Third Phase and lying through my fake teeth about Third Phase. I haven't hoaxed anything in the past 5 years. Oh, shit, they proved they did. Haven't hoaxed anything in the past 3 years. Oh, God, they got him again. Haven't hoaxed anything on purpose. Oh, man, they proved they hoaxed things on purpose. Damn, you are a liar, Richie Grifton. And for you to claim that people shouldn't watch other people who are telling the truth says everything about you.
Very, very, very bad. They're just bad people. They don't have, and they're not here for the greater good. They're only here for themselves.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Super Chat Shuffle every day with no real show, right? He's here for the greater good. He's doing the best for ufology by helping grifters and con artists get away with scamming the public with 100% provably fake UFO videos. He's doing God's work over there, sure.
Sad. But they're narcissists, and
yeah, they're narcissists.
They need to hurt others to feel better.
What is it hurting others to make fun of their disability, Rich? Is it hurting others calling overweight people fat constantly? Was it hurtful to tell everybody that Gigi faked his cancer? Do you think that was hurtful to him and to his friends and his family who are standing by his side while he's battling cancer and his life is in danger from that cancer? Was it hurtful for you to say that thing? This is the worst projection I have ever seen. And I'm not a psychiatrist, but if I had to guess, I'd say that Richie Grifton is a narcissistic sociopath. That's what I would say. Or psychopath. Because he never accepts any responsibility for his actions, right? It's everybody else's fault that he did all those terrible, evil, disgusting, slimy things to everybody. They made him do that, right?
Isn't it? Anyway, there's poor interpretations of things. I can't tell you how many times Third Phase of Moon and I have talked about this. I've mentioned it on the show dozens of times. When they're doing their debunks and talking badly about us, they say, it's a balloon. Don't they know it's CGI and all this stuff? Meanwhile, Third Phase of Moon says in the video, we don't know what this is. We don't know if it's a balloon, a drone.
Yeah, and here's more excuses for why they constantly get caught posting fake things. By the way, Third Phase of Moon claims that they have full-time UFO researcher experts helping them with their videos. Then why do they keep posting 100% provably fake shit, Rich? Why?
You know, whatever. They say everything you're supposed to say.
How about you just don't post garbage videos that are balloons? How about you just don't post garbage videos that you know are AI-generated artwork? How about you just don't post garbage videos that people send you that they tell you it's fake and you post it anyway? How about that, Rich?
But then the assholes will say, they're posting this video saying aliens are coming.
Nobody said that. Show me anybody that said that. He just makes stuff up. This clown just keeps making stuff up.
It's not at all what happens. It's amazing to me how they do that. How could you live with yourself when you're lying every single step of the way?
Oh, I got to clip that out. How could you live with yourself, Rich, when you lied and said Third Phase hasn't hoaxed anything in the past 5 years? How could you live with yourself when you lied to your audience and said they haven't hoaxed anything in the past 3 years? How could you live with yourself when you said they haven't hoaxed anything on purpose? We keep proving that they did. How do you live with yourself? Do you get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, I did a great job attacking people telling the truth about Third Phase today because I'm a slimeball scammer who works for slimeball scammers and I can't make a living any other way than lying to people for a living?
Now, I mentioned
this is classic projection.
This to you guys a long time ago, a couple weeks ago. People have been lied to so much in their lives lately in the last, I'm saying it, things have gotten awful in the last, since the internet. Since the internet came around, people lie as if they're telling the truth. So when you tell the truth, people
Did you tell the truth about Third Phase of Moon hoax and stuff, Rich? Did you tell the truth when somebody sent you a fake UFO video and told you it was fake? Did you tell everybody the truth when Third Phase posted that and pretended it was a spaceship or something mysterious? Of course not.
Don't understand your body language. they're so used to people lying to them that when you tell them the truth, they're seeing something they don't normally see and they think you're lying.
No, Rich, people know you're lying because we can prove it here with facts and evidence. And your super chat shuffle days may soon be over. Keep it up.
I do tell the truth every single time, unless there's a cop around or something.
Oh, he tells the truth every single time. Was he telling the truth when he suggested I may have P friends that have problem with children and that might make me one of those people? Was he telling the truth when he talked about Gigi faking cancer? Was he telling the truth when he said Third Phase hasn't hoaxed anything in 5 years, 3 years? They haven't hoaxed anything on purpose. Was he telling the truth when he lied and told everybody that I was begging for super chats to buy my son gifts? No, of course not. I posted the receipt. We already bought that thing. By the way, he's enjoying it very much. Was he telling the truth when he talked about my wife dancing in the introduction videos? He's so stupid. Those are green screen collections, you dummy. My wife is not dancing in my intros. Was he telling the truth just now when he told everybody that Anthony from Unidentified S4 was a dirty cop who faked things, right? Altered reports and fake things? No, he was lying through his teeth, just like he was lying through his fake teeth when he just said he always tells the truth.
Jail, I'll lie. As long as I can. I'm not saying I don't lie, but
I always tell the truth. 10 seconds later. I'm not saying I don't lie.
I won't lie if I don't have to.
Oh, so he has to lie about Third Phase of Moon. Now we get to the real psychology of this thing. Rich, in order to keep that third phase scammer money coming in, he has to lie to his audience. He has to lie to everybody and tell you what great guys Third Phase of Moon are.
Even if somebody says, does this look good on me? I'll say, I don't like it. But if you like it, that's all that matters. Well, why can't you just be nice? Because they're asking me for my opinion. I think you should respect that.
Oh, yeah. He's such a good and honest person. What a pretender. Clown. You've been caught lying to your audience so many times that it's amazing to me you still have an audience. But I know why you still have an audience, because you have a steady influx of new and stupid people who don't know about you coming from Third Phase.
My family gets that. That's what I grew up with, pure honesty. And it still hurts sometimes. But, to be honest, is hard nowadays.
Yeah, it's real hard to be honest.
It creates so much tension when you're telling the truth. It's bizarre.
It's all about maintaining their sense of supply. They have to be in the superior position. And as a result, when there's any strain or difficulty, which is where the maturity of a relationship is shown, they go into the victim mode. Look what you're doing to me now. You're
the victim mode.
Yeah, talk about projection. The victim mode. He's saying that everybody else is doing this to him. And Third Phase of Moon are great guys. And they don't lie. And he doesn't lie. And all these other people are lying. Who's playing the victim here, Rich? I have facts. I have evidence. I have an overwhelming mountain of evidence that we were right in this entire situation. By the way, thank you, My Flock is Anywhere, for the kind and generous super chat and super sticker. And thank you, Deb, from SAC, from SAC, kind and generous $1.99 super sticker. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. So this clown is playing a psychologist talking about narcissists, right? And going into victim mode while he's in victim mode. And by the way, this is all part of the super chat shuffle. Feel sorry for me. These terrible people are calling me a liar with their facts and their evidence and their overwhelming proof that I actually lied to my audience over and over and over again. I'm the victim here. They're the bad people with their goddamn facts and evidence, right?
He said I had one bad ball. Now he hates disabled people.
Well, if you don't hate disabled people or you have respect for disabled people, you wouldn't make a public video making fun of them and talking about how proud you were of how funny that video making fun of a disabled person was. You idiot.
Remember that? He's talking bad about all disabled people.
No, I didn't say that. I said you were making fun of me and my disability. Then I was informed that you've made fun of other people that have disabilities.
No, just you, asshole.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy here because I have a paralyzed eye. But even with one good eye, I can see what kind of person this man is. He is a sad, sad, bitter, angry little man who lies to people for money.
I had no idea it was going to be exactly this. Exactly what everybody did to Gufon, third phase of Moon this year.
Pity party. Everybody did these things. It wasn't that third phase defrauded the public with fake videos and they got caught. It wasn't that GRIFTON got caught lying through his fake teeth to his audience over and over and over and over again. It was these terrible people that are narcissists that did this to me. Sure.
I never knew a narcissist was this evil. They just don't like your happiness.
Yeah, I think you should look in the mirror, buddy. I really do. Because why have you never admitted that you were wrong about any of this? Did you know that since the beginning of all this, he has not admitted that he was wrong about anything? No matter how many times he lies, they haven't hoaxed anything in 5 years, 3 years. They haven't hoaxed anything on purpose. He still has not apologized or admitted for being wrong about anything. Now, meanwhile, I said, if we're wrong on one data point of 1,000, sure, I'll even print a retraction. I will repair, I will fix the documentary if I have to. And I will apologize for getting one of 900, one data point out of 1,000 wrong. But he won't post the evidence. He just keeps talking about it. And do you see how ridiculous that is? Okay, so there's 100 debunks showing that third phase of Moon defrauded the public with 100% provably fake videos. And we got one data point wrong. Is the debunk still completely wrong on that? Or was that a UFO hoax? That was absolutely still a UFO hoax. If we got one data point wrong on the debunk of that UFO hoax, it doesn't change the fact that it's still a hoax. You see the problem here? He thinks, oh, they were wrong on one point and we can prove it. 6 months he's been saying he can prove it. Why doesn't he post it? Because he knows it doesn't matter if we got one thing wrong out of 1,000. Third phase of Moon are still scammers. Third phase of Moon are still hoaxers, clowns.
You want what you have. It happened with Fessler, right? It happened with Scambian. It happened with...
By the way, there's that word again. Scambian. Who am I scamming telling people the truth about third phase of Moon? Who am I scamming? Did I take super chats while I was lying to my audience? No, you did that, you dummy. Keep calling me that. Keep calling me that. That is purposefully, you are doing that with malicious intent to damage my reputation and cause me emotional distress.
Fat Tony, right? It also happened with Gorilla Gamer. Thought, I'm going to do my show now and start talking about people in ufology. And everybody started doing their shows, right? And they're like, oh, we're going to talk about this now. We're going to do what Rich does.
Yeah, everybody's ripping off Rich. I've been doing this for 8 years. And by the way, you can go back 8 years and see every show that I did for the past 8 years. Where's all his? Right? He's got some kind of monopoly on doing a show about UFOs or the paranormal. Everybody's ripping him off, right? But he's calling me a narcissist.
Everybody thinks they can do it, but you don't have the passion, the power, or the pleasure for it. It is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Only he's good enough to do a show. Sure.
Don't be mad.
You mean we can't lie? We don't lie as good as you? Is that what you're saying?
Mad at the messenger. Be mad at yourself. It's all in how you handle the situation. You know, the funny thing is, in 10 years, their kids are going to be in
here,
their
this is
20s,
great.
maybe.
He threatens us here.
You know, and I have all this stuff that they did to me. And, you know, someday they're going to see how much of an asshole their father really is.
And why are you planning on sharing damaging information with our children? And by the way, my children would laugh at you, Rich, because they know that their father's not a liar like you. My children would laugh at you. And they would say, yeah, our dad, Steve Cambion, got you good. Proved that you lied to everybody for years. So we don't care about your so-called evidence of what our dad did, because our dad told the truth when you lied to make money, you dummy. Why is he bringing everybody's children into this again? Do you see how slimy this man is? He's willing to go and talk shit to my sons in 20 years. He's going to hold a grudge for 10 years. He's going to hold a grudge that long and try to damage my relationship with my children over this. And talk about narcissism. Do you think you're that important that my sons will even care or know who the hell you are in 10 years, you idiot?
I love life, but I'm not going to be intimidated by people who do not do the real research in this field.
Oh yeah, I didn't do any real research. There's two-hour documentaries, you dummy, full of research, showing that third phase of moon are scammers, hoaxers, and fraudsters, showing that you keep lying through your teeth over and over and over again. But I don't do any research. Where's yours, Rich? You say you've been doing research for how many years? 10 years? You watched the sky for 50,000 hours and you did all this research, and all you've got is a picture of a security dome camera, you dummy, that you said was the best UFO photo ever taken in history. A hoaxed photo. Great. Yeah, you really do great research. How many big stories have you broken since you've been doing this? We just had a huge one last week. Exclusive story that nobody else had, right? But I don't do any research. We don't do the real research. He does. His idea of research is going to Twitter 20 minutes before he does a show and seeing what he can steal from people. By the way, I heard he talk smack about us sharing other people's stuff, but we ask permission and get it before we share anything, or we use things in the spirit of fair use that we're using for educational purposes and critiquing and commenting over. That's allowable. But what this guy does, oh, by the way, that's another issue. That's another issue. You just copyright frauded Netflix, right? This guy just straight stole a Netflix piece and played it on his show. Like he somehow did it, right? He just played Alien Christmas TV special or portions of it. That's not fair use. That was directed by Stephen Chiodo. This is what he just stole and played on his show. I'm gonna share it. This is what he just stole and played on his show. Like he somehow has, does Netflix know that you stole that and played it with no permission? That wasn't fair use. You just played it and portions of it like you made that video, right? But he does real research, right? He does real research. Great. Has never broken a story, has never had an original story on his show ever. Never, right? Certainly not a big story. People come here because they know that we do research. And meanwhile, your idea of research is going on UFO Twitter 20 minutes before broadcast to see what you can, stretch out and talk about for 2 hours so you can do the super chat shuffle.
Who do not have the passion, who do not care about the greater good, only care about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And people get the wrong idea of me and my channel.
Sure.
And I think if people just spend a few minutes just listening to what we do here, instead of just coming in when I'm on a rant or when I'm acting, funny or doing something silly, look, I can't apologize for me being me, but I always said from day one, I will be me every time I come on this channel.
And that's why your show will always suck, because it's you being you.
And that is why I do what I do. And I can't change who I am. And I don't think I'm being mean.
Oh, no, you're not being mean when you say somebody faked their cancer with no evidence or no proof. You're not being mean when you say a retired cop must have been a dirty cop falsifying reports, right? You're not being mean when you fat shame people, make fun of people's disabilities. That's not you being mean. You're not being mean when you talk about my sons and how you're going to go show them, right, what their father did 10 years ago and try to create some rift between me and my children. That's not mean. You're an idiot, Richie Gufon.
For asking questions. I don't think I'm being mean for calling out people who are lying to you.
While he's working for the biggest liars in ufology, he's going to go and tell you other people are liars. It might not be mean, but it makes you a huge hypocrite, you dummy.
I don't think I'm being mean when Jeremy Corbell puts out videos that are not UFOs, UAP, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so he's allowed to be critical of Jeremy Corbell, but we're not allowed to be critical of Third Phase of Moon for putting out fake videos that aren't UFOs, right? He's not being mean when he's making fun of Jeremy Corbell for putting out fake videos while he's working for somebody that puts out fake videos constantly.
I don't think I'm being mean when I talk about people being very disrespectful to me, my friends, or family. I don't think I'm being mean when I'm calling people out for doing the wrong thing.
Oh, yeah. He's going to call out people for doing the wrong thing while he's working for scammers, while he's making fun of disabled people, fat people, people's wives, people's children, people with cancer. He's not being mean. I think if he's looking for a narcissist who doesn't accept responsibility, he ought to look in the mirror.
So say what you want about me. I'm doing this for the greater good. I'm not doing it for me.
Then turn off your super chats. If you're doing this for the good of ufology, turn off your super chats, Richie Gufon. Prove it. Prove it. Or are you just there for the money? You slob. You lazy slob. Get a job, man.
If I was, it would be a whole different type of show. I wouldn't care about teaching people how to debunk.
Oh, yeah. He's teaching people how to debunk. Why don't you teach people how to debunk Third Phase of Moon videos? He always leaves that out. Oh, I teach people how to debunk, but don't talk about Third Phase of Moon debunks, right? Even when they're 100% accurate, 99% accurate, right? He's the good guy here.
The proper way, what to look for in videos, how to look for body language, how to look for a narcissist. Now we're doing that. So, hey, nobody else does what we do. Everybody does their
You're
own.
right. Nobody else is as hypocritical of you as you. Nobody calls people frauds and liars and hoaxers who also works for frauds and hoaxers and liars. Only you do that. You're right, Rich. Nobody does what you do, because a normal person who isn't a narcissistic sociopath or psychopath would be ashamed to call other people liars while you're working for the biggest liars in this thing. A normal person would be ashamed of themselves. And a normal person would be ashamed of getting called out for lying to an audience for months and months and months, for doing all these dirty, slimy, disgusting, reprehensible things, bringing everybody's family into this, all of these things. Normal people would be ashamed of that. Not you. Not you, though, right?
Thing. This is my niche. They got theirs, and so on and so forth. Just mind your own P's and Q's.
Yeah. Just let him keep lying to his audience. Don't say anything while he's lying to his audience.
And don't attack people. What's the purpose in attacking people that way?
Oh, sure. He doesn't attack anybody. Just disabled people, fat people, people with cancer, women, people's wives, people's children. He doesn't attack anybody. And by the way, it's not an attack to do a debunk or to show that somebody is posting fake videos. It's the truth.
You know, to make...
And by the way, I did not get personal until he did. Never. I showed the facts. We showed the evidence, and that's it. Now, did I get heated when I was on that show with Third Phase of Moon and yell at them? Sure, I did. And I accept responsibility for what I did. That's called righteous indignation. I know it's a big word for you, Rich. Look it up.
Videos and show dicks and stuff going in my mouth. And
well, that was funny. I mean, I don't remember somebody doing that though, but people made videos making fun of you because you got caught lying to everybody. That's what happened. People made fun of you for getting caught lying to everybody.
Getting, all sorts of weird poses like I'm gay and, all that stuff is on the internet. It's all.
And so is you making fun of fat people, disabled people, attacking people's children, wives, right?
Out there. I don't have kids and my family knows about it. And I have no shame in my game.
Yeah, he's not ashamed of what he did. Go look up narcissistic sociopath or narcissistic psychopath. They're not ashamed of attacking people. They're not ashamed of getting caught lying. If this man had any shame, he would have went away for 6 months, came back and apologized for getting it wrong on Third Phase before turning on that super chat button and doing the super chat shuffle. He never stopped, right?
Because I think I'm doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how vocal I am, no matter what.
He's doing the right thing, defending the biggest frauds in ufology while calling other people out for being frauds. Sure.
What you may think about what we do here, it's not hurting ufology in any way, shape,
or form. No, it's not hurting ufology sitting on your hands while the people you work for are putting out 100% provably fake videos to make money. That's not hurting anything. It's not hurting anything creating all this drama, attacking people's wives, children's careers, reputations, right? It's not hurting anything.
Form. What hurts is that you don't understand where it's coming from.
It's coming from people that don't like fraudster liars. That's where it's coming from.
And the animosity I have towards this field comes from a place where I've done so much research.
Where is it? Where's your research? Post it. Post it. Where's your research? We have an 8-year track record and we show all our research every show, Rich.
And have been out there in the field my first 6 years. That's all I did, 10 to 14 hours a day.
You did this for 14 hours a day for 6 years, and the best thing that you got is a picture of a security dome camera, right? That he thinks is, that's what he's been doing for 6 years. 1 second. That's the best you got? 10 to 14 hours a day for 6 years. And the best thing that you have is a picture of a security dome camera. But this is the delusional world that we live in. He's a UFO expert who just so happens to work for the biggest fraudster, liar, hoaxer, scammers, who, by the way, used a 4-year-old child to scam YouTube for ad pennies, right?
Yeah, I just can't think for them. I don't know why they do what they do. And I don't know why it had to go the way it did.
It had to go the way it did because I decided to tell everybody the truth. And you decided to keep lying to people about Third Phase. That's why it went the way that it did. Accept responsibility for lying to everybody for months. Are you going to sit there and say you didn't lie when you said they haven't hoaxed anything in 5 years? Are you going to sit there and say you didn't lie when you said they haven't hoaxed anything in the past 3 years, or that they hadn't hoaxed anything on purpose? Are you going to accept responsibility for lying, trying to damage the reputation of Anthony from Unidentified S4, saying he was a dirty cop when you have no evidence of that? And by the way, I have the evidence that you're 100% wrong and slandering him. Are you going to accept responsibility? Did you lie when you said those things just now? Are you going to accept responsibility? Did you lie when you said Gigi faked his cancer? Of course you did. And I have paperwork to prove that you lied again. How many times are you going to lie so that you can make a couple of bucks from Third Phase of scam? How many people are you going to hurt? How many people are you going to damage? How many people are you going to viciously and ruthlessly attack, like calling people pedos with no evidence? How many people are you willing to hurt to keep those couple of bucks from third phase of fake rolling into you, you dummy?
But I think it happened because third phase of moon put everybody in their place with that S4.
Oh, yeah. The S4 pin story. You remember that? Where a guy who faked terminal cancer and stole from his own cancer benefit found a pin on Google Maps that he claimed was a government pin. And then they said, nobody can put a government pin on, just the government. And then we proved that you can. Yeah, that fake story, right?
I was just on the side, I was just like, yeah, I was that little guy behind them, even though I was part of it.
By the way, who uses a criminal? Let's be clear. UFO Proof is a wanted criminal who's on the run from the law to sell a fake story about a pin on Google Maps. Third Phase of Moon did. And Richie Grifton defended that as well.
Wasn't the main thing. They were with Kyle, UFO Proof.
Yeah, UFO Proof is the criminal that works for Third Phase of Moon. So Richie Grifton, you're in great company. You and a criminal work for Third Phase of Moon.
And they were going up and challenged alien scientists, and
yeah, and we proved that they were wrong on the whole thing. Don't make me drag that all out again.
One, they proved them wrong.
They never proved us wrong. He's lying again. Mr. I always tell the truth.
Boy, did that
And you know what? I'm not going to argue over a story brought to us by a criminal who stole gift certificates from his own cancer benefit when he faked having terminal cancer to get drug money. Rich, you dummy. I'm not going to argue with you over a story like that. That's what the story was. A criminal brought a story to Third Phase of Moon about a pin on Google Maps, and Third Phase of Moon claimed nobody could put a pin on Google Maps that says government office. Only the government can do that. It must mean that Bob Azar's telling the truth. No, it didn't. It's a fake story, and in a long line of fake stories.
Them feel like shit. And then it was on. And that happened in the first week in January.
No, that had nothing to do with it. That was a minor dust up or a disagreement. What happened was I told Third Phase of Moon that their documentary was garbage because in that documentary, they let Stephen Greer lie through his teeth, right? And you hyped up that documentary. And by the way, that documentary was garbage. So you lied to your audience telling them how great it was when it was filled with fake facts.
And it hasn't stopped until, well, it hasn't. So, we'll just keep doing what we do here. Let the narcissist be. But
yeah, I'm a narcissist.
I see everything too. I know who my real friends are. I know some people are here right now that go over there.
You don't have real friends, Rich. You have stupid people. You have stupid people that are your fans. Don't mistake that with friends, right?
Say, hey, great video.
Hey. Yeah, they do. You know how many people have stabbed you in the back that you think are your buddies or your fans? Great job.
Hey, that was really funny. You made Richie look really good. Or bad. So don't think I don't know. People send me stuff and I say, I don't need to see it. I don't care.
Bull. He watches everything.
Just, if I don't know about it, I don't talk about it. But when Dorothy sent this to me a while ago, I was like, this is exactly what people need to see. This is that.
Yeah, Dorothy, another person defending him and sending him money. Congratulations, you stupid old lady. How much money are you going to send him to keep lying to you? Right? And I hate to be that direct, but I will. Keep sending him money so that he can keep lying to everyone. Right? You could have been on the side of truth, right? But instead you side with this clown. Because why? Because he brings you on your show. You like him making fun of disabled people, lying about people faking their cancer while he's working with people who we can verifiably prove did fake their cancer and stole from their own cancer benefit. Great job sending him money. Great job pumping him up and telling him he's right. You think you're doing him a service, telling him he's right while he's lying to everybody? You're an idiot, and you deserve to be over there.
This is
And by the way, I will ban her from our chat if she ever comes here again.
Hater. It's a personality disorder. I can't believe it is. Sad. You know how much time they put into us? It's ridiculous. It's like you could have done so much more with that work.
Well, you're right about that, but I didn't put that much time in. I wanted to practice making a documentary, and it took me about a week to make the documentary that I made. And occasionally we make a clip of Richie GRIFTON just to display what a liar he is. And you're forcing me to do that. You can't keep lying and trying to damage my reputation and expect me to just sit back and take it. You're not going to lie about me anymore, Rich. That's it. You're not going to continue to do that. Call me Scambian one more time, you idiot, and see what happens.
Instead of making up lies, and see, they couldn't fill in the
what lies did we make up? Did we lie when we said you lied? When we can prove that you lied?
Blanks. So they got to lie.
Yeah, there's two 2-hour documentaries, right? That's all lies? Is that what you're saying? We're not right on any of that? What if we're right on half of it? And Third Phase of Moon has perpetrated 50 hoaxes. Does that still make you a good person for not calling them out for perpetrating 50 hoaxes? This guy has no logic, no leg to stand on. He's standing on thin ice with one leg half broken here, but he's the good guy.
And they don't want to see the evidence.
I told you, post it. It only proves if it does prove anything, it would prove we were wrong on one data point of 1,000, proving the Third Phase of Moon hoaxes throughout two 2-hour plus documentaries.
Yeah, they're still doing their magic, making themselves disappear slowly.
Yeah,
Nobody
I love that.
cares.
Yeah, we're making ourselves disappear. Hey, Rich, we're broadcasting live to 8 locations right now. Are you? I'm disappearing, right? And look at his numbers. He's having trouble breaking 1,000 views because nobody cares what a liar has to say, Rich. They know they can trust me to tell them the truth, so they come here, right? We're disappearing. And Anthony's beating his numbers too. You know, some of this, talk about a narcissist. Some of this is ego for him. We're blowing right by him, and he doesn't like it. His numbers are in the shitter, and they're going to get worse from here. Keep it up. Keep it up. I will hammer him. And by the way, that's another great part of this whole thing. Because he brought this all back up again, I did a special broadcast tonight of the first Third Phase of Moon documentary. It's called The Hoax Files, Third Phase of Moon Exposed. It's really not a documentary. It's meant to be the first of a series that Sapiens Culture. But anyway, we broadcasted that live earlier this evening at 5:30 p.m. Because Richie was stupid enough to wake me, the sleeping giant, back up about all this. I was over it. We won this whole disagreement. Everybody knows that Rich lied to everybody. Everybody knows that Third Phase of Moon are hoaxer scammers. But he had to bring all this crap back up. So because of that, we broadcast that documentary again, detailing years and years of fakery, fraudery, and bull coming from Third Phase of Fake. And we broadcast that at 5:30 p.m. So now it's available again on Facebook, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Rumble, on DLive, and on Odyssey. So congratulations, you dummy. And by the way, Third Phase of Fake, this is what this clown is doing for you. He's pissing me off and making me work harder to make sure that more people see the truth about you. So great job with your attack dog. He just caused hundreds or maybe thousands of more people to see that documentary about your fakery and fraudery by bringing this all back up again. Great job. Great job, Third Phase of Moon. He's doing a great job for you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short musical break. If I can find the right bumper, which I believe I can. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll take some questions and comments from the live chat, and we'll do another wrap up. 1 second here. Let's find something appropriate. I think I got something. I should have something. Yeah, we do. All right. This is a song from an old friend of mine, Jason Paul Elder. And Jason, if you're watching, building a new studio. Hope you come and record again. This song was actually recorded, I think it was in 2003 or 2004 or something, maybe 5, in my original recording studio in Philadelphia, Subculture Studios. So we'll be right back, friends, and take questions and comments from the live chat. Please put them in all capital letters.
What you need, in finding what you see, I'm hiding all that I'm really made of. No matter what you see, no one's watching me, at least no one that I'm afraid of. So much about me is wrong, despite of all you keep, despite of all you free, I know that you'll be right at my side, love. I've left no one to call, hurting softly now, the harder you'll fall. So much about me is wrong, as I avoid your plea, serve it with your tea. You'll wonder just when I've had enough. Don't wait too long, dear. I'm not as distant as I may have appeared. So much about me is wrong. About me is wrong. So much about me is wrong. So much about me is wrong.
Truthseekers is a viewer-supported show. Wonderful people like you who enjoy this show send pledges in the form of super chats, super stickers, super thanks, PayPal, or Cash App. Instructions for how to help are in the description. You can also join our Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month you can get extra content. Patreon supporters get a backstage pass, early access to all our production videos before they are distributed publicly, Stephen Campion's music, private writings, a monthly show journal, and more. You can also become a YouTube channel member for $5 a month. A YouTube membership includes all of the Patreon benefits, plus a special members badge, priority reply to video comments, and the live chat, plus a monthly members only video. We thank you all, kind and generous benefactors, for supporting Truth Seekers. Thank you for your generosity and support. Thanks for being here. This is Truth Seekers with your host, Stephen Campion. Please rate, like, and comment on our videos or podcasts. If you are listening to an audio podcast, please rate us 5 stars to help us rise in the search rankings. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you're listening to an audio podcast, we love and appreciate you listeners, but you are missing the live tapings. All our shows are recorded live with video feed. We'd love you to come be a part of our live broadcasts and tapings for the podcast. Head on over to YouTube, click the search tool, the little magnifying glass, put Truth Seekers, one word in the search bar, and hit enter. You'll see a strange and mysterious guy with sunglasses. That means you found the channel. Go there, smash the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to receive up-to-date info on our YouTube channel. We welcome you to be a part of our live taping and our chat room during the live broadcasts. Seek the truth. Speak the truth. This is Truth Seekers. Truth Seekers.
And we are back, and I have something special for all of you. Some of you know Kari has been working on a docu-series for some time, and boy, now I'm trying to find it. I have a trailer for that. At least I thought I did. Yes, I do. So we have a trailer from that project to share, and it's a short trailer. And after that, I will take comments and questions from the live chat. Please put them in all capital letters. It really does help. We'll be right back after this wonderful trailer from Spooky.
Did you know? I did not know. I think of myself as someone who keeps reasonably up to date with the news and current events. I did not know that aliens did 9/11. I had no idea.
The main message from the ETs are for us to prepare ourselves
right now, and I mean this. I want to introduce my good friend to you.
Is this a sign? I want to welcome you to an idea. I want you to give this idea a habitat in your mind.
Going live. You're live.
The Anshar are a creation.
Not my question.
How's it going? Good. Heading to Spain.
So you're saying David Wilcock made $4 or $5 million
off one course?
Courage to actually commit to creating a business seated in higher consciousness of all things.
Well, interestingly enough, it wasn't even on my radar a year ago.
I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Like what are the next conferences that you're going to be going to?
ECETI Ranch. And you can go there, and then in
August, I will actually be attending and speaking at what's called the Eclipse of Disclosure Summit in Mount Shasta.
He's using a totally fake persona.
Corey is a spiritual fraud.
Love you, Bill.
We want you.
What are the lies that my client put out there? Let's go through that.
This feels like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard. I would be Johnny Depp.
What would happen if all of this turns out to be true? Well, we will soon find out.
What does it matter if it's real or not?
The Dark Alliance. And many people have asked me a lot of questions about this project, but it's Spooky's project, and I think it's best if Spooky answers any questions. I will just say that I am waiting. I am waiting to see this thing happen. I'm waiting to see this all come to fruition. And it's going to be a great project. I'm excited to see it. I've seen bits and pieces of it. So questions or comments from me, please put them in all capital letters. We'll take some questions and comments from the live chat before wrapping things up here. Spooky with a kind and generous $2 super chat says, play the trailer, you heathen. And now Spooky has set a precedent. So from now on, I need a super chat before I play anybody's crap on my wonderful show. No, I was supposed to play it earlier. I apologize. So questions and comments, please put them in all capital letters. We'll take some questions and comments from the live chat. But I did want to mention something. Third Phase of Moon supported Corey Good the whole time. And they supported him. They didn't do any fact checking. They didn't vet him, right? And it turns out that Corey Good made up, according to his sworn court testimony, he made up either large portions of that or all of it, depending on what section of the deposition. He's never been to space. He has never been to the moon or Mars or any of these other places, not physically. Third Phase of Moon supported that. So congratulations, Third Phase of Moon. You supported a 100% fake secret space program insider who's never been to space. And by extension, that must mean that Richie GRIFTON supported that too, because he never called it out. He never said anything. He never stood up and said, Corey Good's a liar because of X, Y, or Z. No, we got that story right the entire time. Third Phase got it wrong. Richie GRIFTON got it wrong. And this whole thing is laughable to me because I don't understand this guy. Like, does he think it's a good idea to force me to remind people that he's been lying to his audience for how long? How long were you lying to your audience? About a year, Rich? While you're collecting money to lie. You were collecting money while you were lying to everyone, right? Does he think it's a good idea? Does he think this is going to help his numbers to continually disparage me, to continually attempt to damage my reputation, cause me emotional distress by attacking my children, my family, my wife? Now we get this wonderful revelation that he's saving up all this stuff and he's going to show it to my children in 10 years. That's a threat, you dummy. I don't know how this guy keeps going. He should be ashamed of himself, right? He should be ashamed to show his face in public after he's been caught lying to his audience for over a year now. He knew the whole time that they were using fake videos, and he attacked everybody that whole time knowing that Third Phase was using 100% provably fake videos, right? This Greer Grifton turd is their next major money grab. Yeah. One more big money grab. There's always a new documentary with no evidence to hawk, right? New Age nuts. Pecker29 says, of course, Third Phase of trademark. Third Phase of Moon support Corey Good trademark. And by the way, I do want to thank I have two announcements here. Let me see. We'll find the first announcement is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm finally going to give our audience here something that they have been asking for quite some time. I have pinned our first story in this series. It's called Murder in UFOLAND. Did you know that a lot of people get into UFOs and conspiracies and go crazy and kill people? And we did the first story, the Christopher Gray story, some time ago. I promised an entire series, but I have been busily working on that. We've got it all prepped and ready to go. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. 1 second here. Let's try this again. There we go. And let me change this horrible background because I don't want to look at Third Phase of Fake any more than I have to. There we go. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, please do be here to support this series. I think it's important work. We're going to be broadcasting live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, and D-Live, the second part of our Murder in UFOLAND series. And this one is on David Icke, Matthew Coleman, and the murder of two children. Very chillingly disturbing story. This man got into David Icke's garbage conspiracies about reptilian DNA, and he was convinced that his children were part reptilian, and he took them to Mexico and he murdered them in cold blood. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will continue the series Murder in UFOLAND, and I hope you will be here to support us doing that. Now, a lot of people also are asking me to cover Corey Good's latest video. For those unaware, Corey Good, after being caught in his deposition saying that it's a work of fiction, it's his intellectual property. By the way, we'll play that clip one more time. Sometimes I think I do all of this just for the memes, right? Some of them are pretty damn good. 1 second here. Oh my God. All right, we're going to have to play this. 1 second, friends. So, let's get here. Let me see 1 second. So I just wanted to thank somebody. The voices in my head at Voices Head 100 for this wonderful video. Somebody went through Corey Good's deposition and took out all the parts where he talked about his intellectual property. And isn't it interesting that Corey Good, after being caught in his deposition saying he's never been to space, he's never been to the moon, he just went and did a video telling people all about the secret space program, right? After his deposition, which was funny. And thanks to that Twitter user for creating this.
My IP, trademarks, IP, my IP, my IP, and my IP was my IP, my IP. My IP, my IP as my IP on my IP. Intellectual property is my IP, just registered marks. My registered marks, IP, intellectual property as my IP. My IP's IP is my trademark, trademarks. My IP, trademark. My IP, I created. Trademarked, my trademark. And IP, dramatizations, trademark. It's my creation. Why I trademarked it. Blue Avian, trademark. Blue Avian, trademark. My IP and my IP, trademark courts and my trademarks, my IP, yes. Stuff that I created, real IP, created a lot of the stuff. I created Darkfleet, my IP, on my IP. Created out of my mind, my IP, on my IP, my trademark, my intellectual property, which definitely locks all this stuff in as a creation, and my IP. My IP, yeah, for my intellectual property.
Yeah, his intellectual property. I think this is hysterical that this man who claimed to be telling true stories this entire time would suddenly, under oath, admit he's never been to space. But somehow he's going to keep going, giving people updates from the secret space program. And people are asking us to cover it. We might do that. But, I have a hard time wanting to sit through 2 hours of Corey Good telling fairy tales, especially now that we have 100% verifiable proof that they're fairy tales, right? It's like a botnet because they back each other up. The hosts are like the nodes. Yeah, I agree. Mysterious moon bases. Guy's been in Space Force but can't sit up straight in his chair. Yes, Sandy Smith is here. Welcome, Sandy Smith. Yeah, I tired of the bull about negative RH blood being alien. I'm negative RH, and it's just that crap. Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. Has Corey said anything other than the woodsy threat-like video? Yes, he posted a new update from the secret space program as if nothing ever happened, right? Like he forgot that everybody found out that he faked everything or he made it all up. And he's just posted updates telling everybody about the secret space battles going on. And it's great. It's just great. Absolutely great. Now, I got something else to share. And I'm doing this under duress because oh my gosh. 1 second. All right, we're gonna share some fun third phase videos, but I'm not going to share the audio because that's one way to avoid the. I don't know if this is going to get stricken because but it's a comedic parody. Let me put my banner up. This is a comedic parody, of course. I have a video for that. I have a bumper for that. This is a transformative work. This is a comedic parody, and it's covered under fair use. People send me this stuff. I wish they would send it to me earlier. But this is some fun stuff, boy, let me tell you. Third phase of fake. Oh, I gotta love it. Gotta love third phase of fake, right? Gotta love third phase of fake. There's another one here.
We could have.
Oh, let me get rid of the audio there. I want to be a cowboy. Third phase of Brokeback Mountain. Yes, this is the third phase of Brokeback, right? Oh my God, Mike did a whole bunch of these. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah!
Oh, let's kill the audio here. Oh no! Third phase of Brokeback Mountain. It's the third phase of Brokeback, friends. It's just the third phase of Brokeback. Don't adjust your monitors or television sets. It's just the third phase of Brokeback. I did it all for the memes, friends. I did it all for the memes. Lovely stuff. Thank you, Mike. And this is a comedic parody. All right, we'll take a few more comments, then we're going to bounce on out of here. I still have some things to prepare for tomorrow night's show. Tony V is here, says, great show. Hoping 2023 will bring down more frauds like Corey and third fakery. Yeah, maybe. Craig Williams says, Roger means dumb rehash doo-doo. Like, for instance, we're going to have to fight the Orion group in 2032 if we ever want a chance to get to the 33 solar flash. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in all of that stuff. Can't say that I am. Always nice to meet a fellow Earthling. Got my wires crossed. Okay. Well, we're going to be back here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that will be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will return. And we've got a few more shows planned for you. I'm looking at my schedule here. We will definitely be doing a show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But because people are stupid, I'm thinking I might change to 7 p.m., right? That might be a good idea. We might try that and see how it goes. According to my YouTube analytics, more of you are online at 7 p.m. Then, yeah, Elise says, still waiting to hear a public response from David Wilcock regarding Corey Good deposition. Crickets, nothing. Yeah, he's hoping everybody forgets that he brought a fairy tale huckstering, storytelling clown to everybody because, you know, he vetted him 3 times, right? Or was that, oh no, Jimmy Church vetted him 3 times. David Wilcock only vetted him once, right? Sure. Show versus clowns. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. I want to thank all you kind and generous benefactors, you Patreon supporters. By the way, I'll be posting some new fun stuff on Patreon tonight or tomorrow. You channel members, I'll be posting some members only videos tonight or tomorrow. We've got our Honest UFO conference. It's almost ready, right? I keep saying that. Got a few more characters to add, and we'll be doing the screen test of those characters for the Honest UFO conference. And by the way, it's GRIFTON and Third Phase of Fake. Yes, that's right. I've got 2 of them too. Wait till you see this Third Phase of Fake character. Oh my gosh, it's my best work yet. And the Richie GRIFTON, it's beautiful. I'm so proud of it, right? I was going to debut the GRIFTON thing tonight. That clown's so stupid he doesn't know that I have that. Before I go, I just want to say that it is really a stupid idea for this guy to continue to attack me. He just attacked my children again, saying he's gonna save up all this stuff and show it to my children so they can see what kind of person I am. My children are proud of me because I'm a good man who tells the truth, who does an honest day's work for an honest day's wage. And by the way, you scammer clown, I have a successful business outside of this. This is just supposed to be fun, right? It's not fun. A lot of the times it's not, but we try to make it fun. I don't think it's a good idea for this clown to keep coming after me, calling me a liar, because every time he does, I'm forced to respond. And by the way, later tonight, we will be debuting the second Third Phase of Moon documentary. And if you want to see what a real clown is, GRIFTON, the documentaries are available on Odyssey. But as soon as I'm able to redact that child, they showed the face of the child in the first documentary, I'm going to post it to my YouTube channel. And by the way, those people who would seek to copyright strike or claim me in order to stop me from broadcasting the truth about them, after all, the documentary is an investigative work into their fakery, fraudery, and bull. They should not be allowed to copyright claim that off of YouTube so that less people see it. So we're going to post it. And if they want to copyright claim me, they can, but they should know in advance that I have won something like 22 times somebody falsely copyright claimed me, and 22 times we won. I have excellent legal defense letters that have worked 22 out of 22 times with everybody. With YouTube. Every time somebody tries to falsely copyright claim me, I file those letters and we win. And then if it's a hard strike, the strike reverts to the person that issued it. So if GRIFTON or Third Phase of Moon want to strike on their channel, falsely copyright claim me. I refuse to allow Third Phase of Moon to decide what is allowed on YouTube or not. We'll let YouTube decide. And I've won 22 out of 22. And by the way, if forced to, I will go to court and defend my right to fair use. Will they? Are they going to fly here from Hawaii and tell everybody, tell the judge, tell a jury, oh, Steve Cambion used clips from our show, and then he showed everybody that we faked this or faked that and defrauded the public out of money and defrauded YouTube out of money with our scam, fake UFO videos? What person is going to side with the people being investigated that want to censor the people doing the investigation and revealing the fakery, fraudery, and bull as they are defrauding the public? I think we've got a very strong case. And because of that, as soon as I'm able to redact that child's face out of the first documentary, and by the way, they used their 4-year-old child to defraud YouTube out of ad money, right? Posting a 100% fake video with their child pretending to see an alien that they added in later, right? But we're going to redact that child's face. By the way, it's a many-year-old hoax. That kid's probably all grown up, but still, I'm a father myself. A lot of people took issue with the child being included in that documentary piece, but I think it's important to display the lengths that these scammers are willing to go to. They will coach a 4-year-old child into taking part in their UFO fakery, fraudery, and hoaxery so that they could make money falsely using these deceptive practices and pretending it's a real alien sighting on YouTube. I think that's wrong, and I think that piece should be included. But being a father myself, will redact the face of the child so that people won't see the face of the child. And then we're going to upload it to YouTube, and they can do whatever they want to do. I will fight and defend our rights to fair use with all that I am, all that I have, and all resources at our disposal. It was wrong for them to copyright strike it off of YouTube. They were embarrassed, and rightly they should be, because that documentary nails them. And the second one nails them pretty good too, if I do say so myself. So we're going to be uploading all of that. Those 2 documentaries will soon be available on the Truthseekers channel. And if they want to copyright claim me, I will fight it. I will fight it to the ends of the earth. They will not be allowed to falsely copyright claim people, to stop people from seeing this video, seeing these important documentaries on YouTube. So that's all I got for you, friends. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. I want to thank the kind and generous PayPal supporters and super chatters, super sticker purchasers, Patreon supporters, and channel members. We'll have some new material uploading either today or tomorrow just for you. Some fun stuff going on, and I hope that you become a member if you're not already. But thanks to everybody who has become a member. It's nice to see so much support. So that's all we got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you.